Greetings and welcome, family, to another page of magnets, crystals, pyramids, and journey to bliss. As you well know, tonight is going to be an epic show of the feminine goddess, big mama healing that will embrace the world so that as we sit on the verge of diabolical madness, of short-sighted world leaders, we have to raise the frequency and hopefully change the destiny and the outcome of children, young and old, globally by our active participation in the elevation and through the frequency of our thoughts and feelings, even through this medium, this social medium of YouTube. So with that being said, let us begin the opening with our commercials. I want to first thank my big sister, Momma Sounata, for being present. And it's been a first time. I haven't seen her since two winters ago, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So wherever you're listening from, family, whatever part of the world, please put in the comments what state, country, planet you may be listening from as we start with our commercials and then our invocation, starting now. Okay.
Peace, family. I wanted to show you some of these great quality t-shirts that were designed by the brother Shaka. The I Am t-shirts. I am a generator, an operator, and a destroyer. Great quality t-shirts, 100% cotton. If you like one of these t-shirts, reach out to the brother Shaka at N as in Nancy, F as in Frank, N as in Nancy, Shaka at gmail.com. That's NFN Shaka at gmail.com. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
All right. And here is the best soup in Brooklyn, perhaps in New York City. Our brother at Nicholas Bookstore at Restoration Plaza right here in Bed-Stuy. Here it is, family. The best soup in Brooklyn. Prepared meticulously, exclusively by the world famous Coconut Rob. Coconut Rob, what do you have in this delicious
what did I do?
Conundrum? this awesome feast of nutritious delight. Tell us what you hooked it up with.
It's a combination of a couple of things, actually.
Couple? Looks like a whole collage.
Nah, well, the actual base of it is the great northern beans, great northern white beans. And then we did it with a whole, as you would say, a conundrum of vegetables. All right, the malanga cocoa, which I like, of course. It's a root vegetable, but it's low in starch and rich in vitamin B2. So we use that and let that kind of come to a boil in the water, and then that thickens the broth. Wow. Then we use the barrow bananas, butternut squash noodles. Also, we use zucchini noodles. Wow. Bell peppers, red bell peppers, green bell peppers, yellow bell peppers. And in this one in particular, we brought both East African and West African seasonings. We used the East African seasoning called a shiro, which is usually used with like miso wet and lentils and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's added like a little bit of spice. And then we use the Ghanaian seasoning in there that's called shitsu, or shitu, actually. It's like a red bean.
Lord have
But
mercy.
this one is all vegan, of course. It's got a nice little spice to it.
Yeah, and
So-
those who are sensitive to salt, is there any salt in here?
Absolutely no salt.
No salt.
We don't use any salt.
What days are you here?
Well, today I'm here Tuesday. Tomorrow I'll be here too, but the soup days are principally Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. But, of course, the public demands, I'm going to probably make a small one also tomorrow as well.
Excellent. And
look good?
yeah, man. What's the contact number?
Oh, 347-243-1678. And of course, you know I'm here at Nicholas, Brooklyn.
1396 Fulton
1396
Street
Fulton
in Brooklyn,
Street.
between New York and Brooklyn Avenue. God
Absolutely.
bless the cook and the time it took.
The toppings are arugula, avocados, a mango chutney, a cucumber chutney, and culantro, or what they call shadow benny. Baby spinach and baby arugula.
Excellent. Yummy, yummy for your tummy. Okay. We have just a couple of family. I am here with a magical moment of young musicians. And this is Kim, Sister Kim, and she has a message about investing into the future musicians of our community. Sister Kim, tell us what you got here.
Hi everyone, Kim, proud parent of children at the Big Apple Leadership Academy for the Arts. We teach HBCU high stepping marching band to our kids from age 5 and up. It is a free after school program, tuitionless, and it's open to all. Our kids are amazing. If you can, jump on our website. We're looking for support, donations. Our kids need new instruments so that they can high step on. Our website is www.bola.org, BALAA.org. And I appreciate the time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And so, family, listen up close. We're talking about investing in the artists of tomorrow. By investing in them, if you have a little expendable change to invest in the youth, the genius, this is the opportunity. And in this description on this video will be the details of sending your donation to PayPal or Zelle or Cash App.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for your support. Our children are the future. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. And with that being said, let's move right in.
Remember to subscribe, share, and like this video. And magnets, crystals, pyramids, and remember to journey to the bliss.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, that's fun. And we have Momma Kareemah, as we had continued with the openings.
Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids, and Journey to Bliss. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and Ashe.
Putting out a call to the warrior in you, to the healer in you, the king, the queen, the magician, the lover in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that holds you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere. It's right in your face. Let's go.
we go, family. And everyone in the chat, please let us know what part of the world you're listening from, the city, the state, the country, the planet, the dimension, because we are welcoming you to magnets, crystals, and pyramids and Journey to Bliss. Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Success is your destiny. Love, wisdom, power. Remember, always who you are. Yes, yes, I am. Love, wisdom, power. Yes, yes, I am. Love, yes, power. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Love, wisdom, power. Yes, yes, I am. Wisdom, power. Master. Yes, I am. Yes, love, wisdom, power. Yes, I am. Say to yourself, yes, I am. Protected. Yes, I am. Master. I am. Yes. Okay, let us move forward. Hey, Miss Bliss.
Good evening.
All right, all right. Okay, ladies, you know how we're doing our startup. I'm gonna let Miss Bliss. She can read off all the locations because people all over the planet are listening in right now. But let's do our I am invocation so we can move into the show.
Yes.
I am in me. I am in Miss Bliss. I am in my big sister, Momma Asantewa. I am within Momma Kareemah. I am within all the big mamas who are going to be with us shortly. I am within you. I am within you. In the spirit of Ubuntu, we're coming together to change the frequency of our world, our future, and all the children, young and old, wherever they may be, so they may reach for a higher vision and create with their crystals and prayer sticks a better reality. So before we move forward, let's look back in our eternal essence and be mindful that we are beings of eternity from the countless incarnations of physical reality. And we say, with an overview of compassion, yes, I am forgiving all my previous millions of soul encounters from my past lives. And I ask all soul encounters from my past lives to please forgive me. And most of all, yes, I am forgiving myself. And as we peel our consciousness of our heel into the now and project into the future, yes, I am forgiving all staccato acoustical musicians, known and unknown, who have sung the harmonic tones of love supreme through our vocals and our intentions. Yes, I am forgiving all life in the here and now and future possibilities. And I ask all future souls and souls in this life to please forgive me. And most of all, I do forgive myself. And that being said, we individually and collectively call upon our ascended master brothers and sisters who have thrown the rope of hope through the bloodlines of our ancestors, through the days and the darkness and the light and hope and despair. And even when things were glorious and shining bright, we call upon the angel of protection to surround all our brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunties, uncles, grandmothers, grandfathers. Archangel Michael, we ask that you clothe us in the shield of blue lightning angels. We call upon Enoch the Ethiopian who ascended into the heavens and became Metatron. We ask that you be with us, and we thank you, Archangel Metatron. Thank you, Enoch the Ethiopian, as we now reach into the ascended master realm and invite and thank the latest Christ born in the Congo, Simeon Toko, who called forth an army of muscle-bound, bulletproof angels out of the Congo to chase the terrorist Belgians out. We ask the latest Christ, Simeon Toko, to be upon this platform, and thank you. We call on the latest ascended master out of Senegal, Sheikh Amadou Bamba, Sheikh Ibrahim. We thank you for being bulletproof, flying through the air, being hungry lion proof, fireproof, for walking on water. And we thank you for incarnating to give us hope and inspiration. Thank you for your 7 tons of prayers, some so profound that they buried them in the ocean. We ask you, Sheikh Amadou Bamba, Sheikh Ibrahim, to be with us on this platform. We call upon Tahuti Rata, who's known as Toth Asar. He's also known as Quetzalcoatl. We ask that you be on this show tonight. Tahuti, Quetzalcoatl, White Buffalo Calf Woman. We ask that you join us, calling upon Gatekeeper of Northern California, Mount Shasta, Saint Germain, Gatekeeper of the hollow opening into the mountain, going into the hollow of the earth. We thank you and invite you to be on the platform. Nikolai Tesla, we thank you and invite you to be with us tonight. We call on Great Divine Director, Seraphis Bey, Mary McLeod Bethune. We call on Harriet Tubman to be with us. Thank you. And we invite you to be with us tonight. We call upon Nat Turner, John Brown. We call on Chief Geronimo, Chief Osceola, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Elijah Muhammad. We call on El Haj Malik El Shabazz to be with us, and we thank you. Yeah. We call on Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We call on South African Zulu shaman Credo Mutwa. We thank you and invite you to be on this platform. We call upon Frederick Douglass, P.B. Randolph. We call on our Shroom Master Dr. Kalindi Ayi, Shroom Master Dr. Sabi, Shroom Master Dr. George Washington Carver, who would microdose mushrooms to hear the whisper recipes in the gardens in the early 4 a.m. time of meditation and downloads. We call on the Buddhas, the Lady Buddhas. We call on the Krishnas, the Lady Krishnas, to be with us. Lakshmi, Kuan Yin, Goddess of Mercy. We call on Imhotep, Ptahhotep, Akhenaten to be with us. Asar, Aset. We call on the forces of nature that's within us. Ilegba, Oshun, Yemaya, Ologun, Oya, Shango, Ogun, Abatala, Ochosi. We acknowledge and thank you. And we thank all the shaman warriors, all the mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers who've made the difference so we may have a better walk, stomp, dance on this wooden stage of life. And we say together, Ashe, Mahalo, Donada, Wado, Amen, Amen. Let this show flow. Here we go.
Ashe,
Ashe. Ashe. And without further ado, I want to thank Momma Ayana because she's the reason for the season. I want to thank Momma Joanna for being here tonight. I want to thank, again, Momma Santawa. I don't know where Kareemah went. Momma Kareemah, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. I want to thank Momma Madam Anna, Madam Clark. So y'all got I've got to pull y'all to the middle right here, right now, because family, I have to tell you right now, it is Momma Ayana and Madam Clark that made this who inspired this big mama platform tonight. Thank you, Momma Ayana Ayi, and thank you, Madam Clark, for being here again tonight. So what you got to say? Talk to the kids tonight. Talk to the children.
Well, I want to say welcome to everyone on this panel, and thank you to our brother here for allowing this platform to be established in the manner in which it is, where we can speak our truths and where we can be heard, because we do have something to say. And we're saying it now in a very loud voice. You cannot make us be quiet anymore. There was a time when they said women are supposed to be seen and not heard. Well, we know that's been gone. But we're here on this platform to share our wisdom and our experience, and for those that are questioning themselves to help just stand in their power. And it is a journey as a woman. It's a journey. It's arduous. It's but it's a part of who we are. I believe that the Creatress gave us an extra 3 cups full of stuff to women so that we can pull some of this. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't. Okay,
Yeah,
to pull
you can
some of this.
pause. Oh, I thought you was talking about tea because I was thinking of tea. So while I'm thinking of tea, you go ahead and do your thing, Mama. Mama Yana, keep it real. No, she's Scorpio. She ain't gonna hold back.
No, I don't want to.
On YouTube, you can curse after the first 20 minutes of the video.
They say when you use profanity, you have a lack of what is it? You don't have many words to say when you use profanity. But to pull some of this shit off that we be pulling off, in order to hold it down. So I want to start on a serious note, of course, by addressing the angry woman. And I'm just going to take it to this place. I remember as a child when I heard my mother's laughter in the kitchen. Oh, it was such a beautiful sound. I wish I could hear her laugh right now. I knew that all was going to be well, at least for that hour or a part of that day. But I also knew that when I heard her in the kitchen slinging those pots and banging stuff around and slamming doors and whatnot, I know that what type of day was on hand. And so in terms of the angry woman who is feeling less than a woman, who is having a hard time making ends meet, whose man has basically stepped on her womb and caused her to feel less than who she is, the woman who has to take care of 3 or 4 children by herself and wondering how the next meal is going to happen, the woman whose body isn't fulfilled by the arms of her man, and that her womb is not filled, her vagina is not filled with the love and power that he can give her. This is the woman that I want to reach out to today so that we can start to ease some of that pain and start to bring her in the pace of not of self-loathing or lacking the worth of who she is, but to get her in touch with herself. Because see, this angry woman is cooking angry food, and she's feeding this angry food to the babies. And then the babies are taking this energy on and spreading. And you walk into a woman's house, and the pictures on the wall are crooked, or there's dead leaves on the plants that are just hanging there, or the mirrors are not shining clean. You can't really see in them. You know that the energy in that house is all off because there's anger inside of that home. So the children are bickering, the plants won't grow, the pets are biting you. I mean, it's just energy is everything inside of a home. So we have to face the fact that, and it's an unfortunate fact that the last time I checked, about 58, that's a shame, 58% of the women are single women holding it down. Why is that? Why are we by ourselves? Are we in a position where we are emasculating our men? Are we too strong for them now? Or is it just a bunch of effeminate men who just can't handle us anymore? I know that having a man in your life is what's necessary if that's your flow. I'm not knocking anything that anybody has in a relationship, but to have a balance inside of your household, to where things are flowing, is something that's very necessary. I want to talk to that woman who is considering an abortion, that she's gotten pregnant now and she doesn't know what to do with this energy. I can't do this right now. I hate the father, or I loathe the energy. I just don't want another child. It's inconvenient. I'm shamed. I've been raped. I'm hurting. This woman is carrying a seed inside of her that she's going to release into the ethers as a disembodied spirit, as an entity with a very low vibration. And these babies, if we're going to let them go, we need to love them as we release them. We need to say to these babies, I'm sorry for letting you go at this time. I'll bring you back another time. Give that child reasons while you're releasing its disembodied spirit so that it can be connected with you in another way instead of in a shameful way or a hurtful way, because our wombs are filled with angst, especially from abortions that we carry. I've had 3 of them. So I know what I'm saying, and I had to find a way to forgive myself and relieve my womb from the pain that it was feeling from the loss that I gave to it. We carry these children in ourselves forever and ever and ever. So they just want to be acknowledged that I once, you ask Ayana, well, how many children do you have? And I'll say, I have 2 living, but I would have had 5. So I've named those children that I let go, and they understand the reasons why I let them go. So it's energy that we're creating for ourselves to give ourselves the peace that we need as women so that we can move forward on this planet in a way that we will be the example. It's like I said, each one teach one. We will reach out to our sisters, our baby sisters, the children, and let them see how we're moving in this world right now, not in fear, not in self-loathing, but praising ourselves and loving ourselves, being healthy, eating the right foods with a high vibration, understanding the power and sacredness of sex, that when we give of ourselves, we give of ourselves in a sacred way. And then when we receive the brother inside of us, that he's allowing himself to come in ourselves, into us in a sacred way. This is a sacred energy that we have to create for ourselves, which I do believe that we can, maybe just relate differently to our brothers. And I'm just using the hetero energy at this point. So no disrespect to any women who are with women at this point. I'm just using it in the heterosexual sense. I just want to just give over the energy of peace, harmony, love of self-acceptance. I mean, I'm getting older. Look, y'all, shoot. I got to get used to this thing here. I'm gonna be 69 next month, and it's a beautiful thing, but it's still a aging process, subtle and not so subtle energy. I look in the mirror, I'm like, dang, okay, really, is this what's going on? But yes, I gotta love all of that about me. And I say to women, I say, look in the mirror, smile at yourself, embrace yourself, look in that mirror butt damn naked until you see a goddess looking back, and embrace her every single day that you see her, because the love that you give yourself, you're going to give to others. Others are going to see that love on you and around you, and they're going to want to sit with you and just be a part of your life, because how can you love anybody else if you don't love yourself? So your image, and we won't really, we can do a whole show on the image of what women are doing right now with these BBLs. I'm never going to understand that, or how a man can actually be turned on by a BBL. Y'all know what I'm saying when I say BBL, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. A Brazilian butt lift. I mean, come on, y'all. So self-image, loving ourselves, understanding ourselves better as women. And I don't want to move around too much, but I want to go back into the angry mama part. Mothers and daughters are having issues, big time issues. I want the daughters that are having issues with the angry mama to step away and look at that woman as a woman for a minute or two, and not as your mother, and try to understand her walk that she has had in this life to get her to this point as a woman. Yeah, we mamas, and we see mamas as mamas, and that's all that we see them as. But this woman has been through some stuff. My mama been through some stuff. And I didn't understand it until I started going through my own stuff. And I had to understand and give her praise for the journey that she took in this life. May she rest in peace and power and paradise at this point, because it is for them. It is for these women that our voices are very loud now. Back in the day, our grandmas, great grandmas, we had to stay with men that were abusing us. We had to stay with men that could do whatever the hell they wanted to do. We had to stay with them because there was no other way for us to be other than in those relationships. And so those women were angry. And those women gave birth to angry children, and so on, and the cycle continues. We've got to stop the cycle. Stop the anger. If you're going to be a woman alone, then be a woman alone and handle your business, but don't be mad about it. Get over it. It's easier said than done, of course, because human suffering, hurt, and pain is a real thing, and I get that. but we have to do the work to get over it. And I can say to you that psychedelics, and I know this isn't a program about psychedelics, but that is my thing. Psychedelics is a good way to start your journey in terms of tapping into who you are, what you're all about, and why you're here. It answers those deep, dark questions that are hidden in the corner of your soul. It gets in there and kind of cleans out the crevices of the stuff that you're holding on to. But you can't be scared. You got to get up in there and you got to do the work, you know. So with that work comes responsibility. And with that responsibility comes being true to yourself. And being true to yourself, then you're going to be true to others. So you can't play the bullshit game. You can't be about it and not, you know, and speak about it and not be about it. You know, people are paying attention real close now to those that are doing the psychedelics because they're looking for answers. The answers are there, but you just have to do the work and know who you're working with and what your intent is in doing the work. Is it a cure-all? No, it is not. Will it turn wounds into wings? Yes, it will, but it's with the work. So my message again is that angry mama that's standing at that stove right now, slinging that food and throwing it around and hollering at the kids and cussing and, you know, having men in and out the door just because of her own self-loathing, her lack of respect for herself, or thinking that I got to have this, I got to have a man. Yes, we need them. Oh my God, do we need them? Where y'all at, brothers? They out here somewhere, but they've been tampered with. They've been played with. They have fallen into the well-laid trap of society to what is it? Divide and conquer. That's been the game all along, is to divide and conquer. And they have fallen into that trap. And so now we got a lot of women that are by themselves because that's just the way it is. Men no longer want to commit. But the brother is out there. They're there. We have to work with them. We have to understand a little bit better than what we do. And brothers, you have to listen to us. You have to listen to us even with the smallest things that we're trying to tell you. Please hear what we're trying to say. It's not bullshit. We're opening our feelings up to you, but a lot of women won't open up because the man is, oh, you just being silly. Oh, you just don't know. Oh, you don't. We know. Empty your cups. Empty your cups, my brothers, because women have a mountain of energy to pour inside of those cups. And if you don't empty those cups, it's just going to run all out and on the sides and down on the floor. And we ain't going to get nowhere. So I'm praying for relationships. I'm praying that the strength of the relationships can get stronger. I'm praying that the brothers are stepping up now to tap into their feminine side. And yes, you do have that. Use an X and a Y. Okay, so now deal with that part. Deal with that energy so that you can understand us. And when you make love to your woman, put your hand on her womb and bless that space before you enter her. Does it have to be sacred every time you come together? No, because shit, a good bang up against the wall is all right with me too, you know? So it don't have to be sacred each and every time, but I'm saying that understand what you're doing is a sacred energy, and she's receiving your energy, and it can't be hurried or angry or I want to pay you back or this is all you need. No, we need energy from you in order to continue in this fight that we're in. And we have to work together as a family, as a unit, as a community, as elders, as young people. We gotta make this thing work out. We have to, because we don't have a lot of time. Y'all think y'all got time. You see what's happening in the world right now, don't you? You see these white folks done gone stone mad, you know, and that's, they coming for us. They've been at us. And they done stepped away for a little while because now they fighting one another. It's all coming apart. But you better be prepared for what's coming next. Because right now, I'm telling you, this is boot camp. This is boot camp. Get ready. Be prepared. Understand what's happening in the family. So your strength, your health, your diet, your mental health, all of that comes into play because now we've got to stand up and handle what's happening to us right now. We've got to handle, and we've got to be in balance with one another. So I'm going to just stop right here and get off the floor. Yeah, that was who I wanted to tap into. The angry woman. I love you anyway, sister, and I hold you, and my heart is open to you. And if you need me, I'm here for you. My heart and my arms is always open. It has been my way to say, when my sister's in trouble, so am I. So holler at me if you need me. And if it's anything that I can do, I'm here for you. All right?
I say.
That's beautifully said. I got to follow up with some chimes. Okay, I'm acknowledging and thank. I have see some of you, my big sisters. Y'all running neck to neck on the seasons that you've been here. So I just want to give the time right now to my big sister, Momma Santiwa. Pull you before Madam Clark holds space, but I'm sure I'm moving Momma Santiwa over here by Momma Ayana. Hold on. Let me do it right now. I'm still learning how to work this computer stuff. I want to thank you. Mama Diana Pharr is in the house, looking good, looking lovely. Uh, Let me just put. Here we go. I'm gonna move. And what I'm thinking, Miss Bliss, if it gets crowded, I'll drop back. You hold it down, and I'll give up the space so that we can have another sister. Mama Akila, I see you. I'm gonna put you up here with Diana Pharr. I want to thank Momma Medicine Woman Joanna. She's here, and we got people in the queue. So, Mama Santiago, go ahead and take it.
Yebo, thank you so much. Peace to all. This is important time, and I thank you, Brother Hank, for inviting me and this participation. I need to speak about health and wellness. That's where my work has been for the last couple of years. And I was fortunate enough to go up to Auburn, New York, to visit Mama Harriet's home, the home where she spent her last days, the home where she created a home for the indigent, the aged, and the infirmed. Mama Harriet created that center without a degree, without an MD, without legal recourse, but she created a setting where her community and her family could come and have a sacred, safe space. We need those in our community. We need to have wellness centers in our community. There is grief and challenges going on, and we don't have a center or a safe place to go to renew ourselves. I'm from Brooklyn, currently now living in Lenape land, also known as New Jersey. And it has been important, again, as I talk about health and wellness, to look at intergenerational work, which has been, again, my forte. I had the opportunity to start a farmer's market in Bushwick. It was important because the only farmer's market at the time, the big one at Union Square, but in Bushwick, we had the first USDA certified farmer's market, and our farm family came from Vermont, the Jacobs family from Vermont, bringing certified organic food to Bushwick for 22 weeks. We started our farmers market in July. Again, as I said, intergenerational. The Jacobs family had 6 children. The youngest at the time was 2 years old. Coming again from Vermont to Bushwick. It was important for us to learn from the community that how much they appreciated getting healthy food, food that they could juice. There were survivors, cancer survivors, who gave us a testimony of how important it was for them to not to have to go to Manhattan, but right in their neighborhood to have juices, to have herbs, to have teas, all of that. And it was an important experience for us. And then that was July when we started. And then August 2005, that's when we launched, was Katrina. And maybe you can remember seeing the anguish and the pain and the hurt of what our community went through in New Orleans. Our farmers market, we organized, and it was interfaith, and we asked community to bring donations, bring what they wanted to donate to families in the Gulf states. We were able to send 6 truckloads of direct relief. I can remember getting calls from hospitals, from universities. They called me at the time Brooklyn Central. Cell phones were new around then. So having 24-hour access on the phone was important. It's an important time also as I talk about intergenerational work, greening, growing work, prayerful work. Our elders, we come from a community where oftentimes I see we pour libation and we call out the names of our beloved ancestors. I know there are elders in our community that are suffering, and we haven't created an ongoing caregiving project to check on Grandma, Auntie Emma, Uncle Joe. Our elders need to be called. And we organized for our farmers market on Wednesdays, a series of Wednesdays. And what we did with our farmers market is we launched it on a Wednesday and held it for a series of Wednesdays throughout the year. So we call that Wellness Wednesday. You don't have to have a grant. Call up an elder in your life on Wednesday. Check in to see how they're doing. It's an important experience, and I don't know that we have enough reminders of that. Again, I come from the experience of where I noticed that we will do the libation, but we don't make announcements about our elders who are in crisis, who need our attention, who need our support. I'm a practicing Buddhist, and today I think is a prayer day also at St. John the Divine in Harlem, over there on Amsterdam Avenue. And they're doing again a call to prayer. We are in crisis times around the world. And it's important for us to make a call, pray, have our prayers, and find solutions. Another important aspect of what we're going through, we need to pay attention, be prepared, and remain safe. Those are 3 things that we need to be reminded of throughout the course of our lives. Paying attention, be prepared, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ashe, thank you for those words, Mama Santiwa. I want to give a special thank you to Mama Bliss. She did a beautiful video, and this is part 1 because part 2, we're going to get to you. But I'm uploading part 1 of the video, which is very beautiful. I got to give you salutations. I couldn't have done this myself. And this is allowing you to see the beauty of the feminine artistry by way of video. And here it is now.
That was
So
very nice.
yeah,
Yes,
that was beautiful.
that really was.
Momma Diana, would love for you to share some words. Unmute your mic. Okay, let's see. Got you on mute. Let's see if I can unmute you from me. Okay, you're open now. Welcome. Welcome, Mama Diana. Talk to us.
I'm here. I was just so deeply moved by the two mamas, the two sisters that came that spoke before me. You know that I spoke about, directed her attention to the anger because that's such a and anger has been such a large part of our experience for such a long time. I don't know what's happening here. I'm in a. Is that me? No, it's not.
No, don't you worry. I'm shutting that off right now. Okay, you're good. It should shut off. Pardon the technical
It's okay.
difficulties.
As you say, we're amongst family. Things
Yeah.
happen. So let's relax and give you a moment.
Hold on, Diana. Hold on.
I'm,
Everybody, with the
I'm
exception
fine.
of Diana, could you mic?
We're giving you space to do whatever you need to do. So go
Okay,
on
there you go.
and do that. Um, I was I was saying how deeply impressed I was with both the women that came before me. It's still there, Rising Sun. The sound thing is still
It'll
happening.
pass. It'll pass.
Okay.
Just
A-
do your
As
thing on top of it.
all things do.
Yeah, just pass right on top. Say, excuse me, children.
As all things do pass. Um, I'll be brief. Because I know exactly what I want to share. I do want to thank both you, Ankh, you and Bliss for your obedience, because it took obedience for this to occur, for you to step aside and let this come through, and to let it branch out and grow and be as inclusive as this moment is. So I want to first thank both of you for this. What I want to say is that there's a presence in the world that it's not natural. It doesn't belong here. It's been here for a very long time, and it has branched out in such a way that it can express itself through many of the things that we interact with on a daily basis, all of the institutions that we interact with, education, the law system, the health, all this presence permeates our lives. And it has even established itself within our psyche. And it has taken a place that manipulates us through our life events, our fears, our anger, as Ayana spoke to. It distracts us. It distracts us from connecting with the deepest truth of who we are, where our power resides, where the magic of our humanity resides. It has established itself in that place. It has so many vehicles to express itself through, that it masks itself in such a way that we ourselves can identify with it, that it can pretend to be the divine, that it can pretend to be that which is sacred, and it and so having said that, the way to free ourselves, freedom from that presence, is love. That's the technology that the masters left for us for this time. That this time is cyclic, that it comes, and that if you're a soul that's in the world during such a time, the technology that our ancestors left for us to navigate through such times is love. And this presence even has distorted what we believe love is, that we believe love is emotion, and it is not. Love is an expression of that which is eternal. And one of the things that it has done to us is we over identify with the emotional events of our lives, mistaking it for love or the lack thereof. And we long to redeem ourselves through our emotional body, which we'll never do, which is obscure and unavailable to us. Whereas love is a constant that is present and infinitely available to all of us, no matter what our circumstances and no matter where we are. Alchemically, love is not, it's not emotion, it's not feeling. It's that space when you're in the zone, maybe when you're driving or cleaning house. I talk about this all the time. When you connect with the intelligence beyond thought and emotion, when you're in the zone, you are in love. When you are so deeply immersed in life that you transcend even your awareness of yourself and the division between yourself, the boundaries between you and others disappears. This is the love that the masters spoke of. This is what they meant when they uttered love. And so how do we connect with that? We connect with that through our intuition. That is pulse, not the emotional longing, but the intuitive pulse that resides within us. That's a literal aspect of our physical anatomy, and in our physical anatomy, it's our enteric nervous system. In our subtle anatomy, it is things like the meridians and the nadis that is intertwined with nature and the cosmos. So when we connect with that through our intuition, and this right here, what I'm saying is our chemical formula, not of mine, not of my own design. This is the intelligence that all of the masters that came before us spoke on. I'm just seeking to hopefully deliver it with as much accuracy that I'm capable of in this moment in time. Because what intuition does, it takes us into what is called Atma, the united soul. When you're in the zone, you're not separate from others. And we all know what the zone is. There are different things, maybe driving, different things take you into the zone, but that's an echo. We all know that common experience. So the more of us that tap into that with greater regularity, what we're actually doing is we're tapping into what in the science now calls the unified field, the oneness. So by tapping into that, you transcend the effect of this presence that's happening through the media, through education. You transcend it And then you start to get your directions from the cosmos, from the soul, however you identify that. And it guides, it protects, it opens the pathways, and it does this in such a way that connects us all, because it's the intelligence inherent in nature. You know, we are not helpless against these forces. We're not helpless. We have great power, and our power is love. And our anger and pain as a lower frequency can be transmuted. If you have a lot of pain and anger, that's a powerful thing. Once you begin to transmute it, you love, which simply requires that we learn from those experiences. It can heal and empower us. So, mic drop, as the young people say.
Thank you for your prayer, Mama Diana. Thank you for your prayer. I would like to bring Mama Myrah to the front. I'm not sure if her speaker is working. Uh, Sister Myrah, Mama Myrah. Let me see if you can hear me. Talk to us.
Rising Center, I've been trying to say, when I was off studio, I was aside because the Queen was having difficulty getting into the studio, but I think she's here now.
Okay, we don't see her in the queue yet, but we're going to have after because we got to rotate. Let her know we got to rotate because we got to. This is the first wave, and we only can hold 10 at a time. So I'll step back.
Is there a way to move those of us that
can you hear me now
into the audience so we're no longer in the studio?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you now, Sister Myrah. We can hear you now, Sister Myrah. Yes.
Okay, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mama Diana. Hold on. Bliss, go ahead. Try again.
Sister Myra's frozen now. I heard her a few minutes ago, but now she's frozen. Your screen is frozen.
Sister Myra, if you can hear us.
Okay. Wonderful.
Okay, that's good.
You can hear now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, my picture's been frozen, but can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine. Yes.
We can hear you.
I can hear you. You just can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, okay, good. Because it's been down, it's me. But you know, I like to describe spiritual energy through the four elements. To me, that defines the four royal family. Okay. So I like to describe the spiritual energy. Okay. Okay, but I'm talking and you're still okay. Okay, I like to define energy through the four elements. That's how I define the four royal members of that family of spiritual energy. Starting with the air and fire. The air and fire, we're dealing with the masculine half. What I say, the air element represents Father's spirit, and then the fire represents the sun power. But what I want to focus on energification, which is the earth and the water. Now we're dealing with energy. I say the highest perspective is through those earth and water. We're going internal. And I always define the earth as Mother Earth, but I say it's we have Father Spirit, the Son of Power, Mama Universe, and Daughter Earth. So the feminine half is the water and the earth element. When we're dealing with the earth element, the daughter component, we're dealing with our values. Those are internal. The feminine is internal. So we're dealing with our values. We're dealing with our security, the earth element from the internal. And with the water, we're dealing with our emotional habits. That's the mama's domain. Mama universe, daughter earth. So the point I want to make tonight is about that feminine half, the internal, where we go internal and cure from within. My thing is being secure from the internal because spiritual energy moves side out, not outside in. That means we're transmitters as well as receivers. However, it's what we send out in our energy as to what we spiral back. So it all starts from within, and it starts with us being secure from within. We're secure on the internal, then anyone outside of us doesn't have the power to upset us because we're secure in our own value and self-worth. And I think that's the most important message here at this time, being secure from the internal. We're in earth. That means your emotional happiness and your security are within. It's not outside of you. What's outside of you is only an illusion. Your power is internal. So the main thing we need to get from that, from the feminine half, is our security about who we are as we go internal and define in our own self-worth and our own self-value. Looking outside of ourselves for anyone else to define that to us. So being secure from within is, I think, eliminates a lot of problems for us looking outside of ourselves and getting desperate about what we think is how we're being influenced from an external, which is not real. It's really illusionary. You know, everything starts from within. And if you're feeling secure, if you're feeling emotional happiness, that's an internal thing. That's too big of a burden to put on anyone's shoulders outside of you. So that is my main message, is that we all have to understand from within our self-worth and self-value. Internal is how we connect to that universal whole through the rising of those kundalini through the chakra until we get to that crown chakra, which makes that connection to that universal whole, who I call Mama Universe, and her energy connects to daughter earth. I think all souls come through Mama Universe and are manifested and materialized through daughter earth. This is highest symbolism for me to look through the four elements. Like I said, Father Spirit, the air element, external and masculine, the Son of Power, fire element, external and masculine. Our spiritual energy is how we're communicated with through the father component or father spirit, or the air element. And then the fire element represents our passions, our desires, but the highest vibration represents our spiritual powers, our creative powers. That's the masculine half, the external. And now we completed that as a collective. Energy can only go 180 degrees before it has to balance with the opposite 180 degrees, which completes a full 360-degree spiral. So I'm talking about the full royal family at its highest vibration through those four components or four elements. But like I said, the spirit moves inside out. So it all starts from within through that earth and water, the feminine half, Mama Universe, daughter earth, and being secure from within in our emotional happiness. Those are internal. And as we move that energy out in full security and self-value and self-worth, that is how that energy reflects itself in the external as air and fire are spiritual power. You know, this is the nature of how I deliver my message through those four elements, that highest component of the royal family of spiritual energy. And the key to everything is balance. As above, so below, as within, so without. And as we look at us as the individual vessels at ground level and how we make a connection in our energy vibration to those highest universal components of that royal energy through a royal family, an energy family, versus how we connect as the individual vessels to that royal energy at its highest vibration through those four components, which represents the full family. So we have a physical family, we have a cosmic family, and how we, as those vessels at ground level, connect through the spiritual level all the way up to the cosmic level or the soul realm. I say the soul realm is the cosmic realm or mama's domain, mama universe, mama magic. First two letters of magic is ma, mama of family love. And then we have the daughter component, the earth element, which is our security, our healing, our values. So those are the internal, and then the external, like I said, the air element, Father Spirit, who speaks to you through the air element, or how you think externally. And then the fire, like I said, our passions, our desires, and our creative powers. So, as all those four components, I call them the four pistons in the engine, all four has to be harmonizing equally in order to generate the power. It's like the four pistons in the engine. So those are the highest four components of that royal family of energy. And we are the ones who are the vessels at the physical level, are the those highest components. And spirit is spiral. So what we send out to the level we send it up is to the same level we receive it back. And the highest components of those four elemental family members, if we're looking at the earth element, we're dealing with the daughter component, which is character, the energy of character. The mama is love unconditionally or non-judgmental. The father is righteous thinking or the spirit of righteousness. And then the son is the passion or the power to protect righteousness. So those are the highest vibrations of those four members of the royal family at their highest level. And we are the physical vessels or the boots on the ground. And as high as we can take our vibration to those four highest components is as high as we can bring it back full spiral as transmitters as well as receivers. So every member represents an aspect of your full circle. You have all of that energy in you. So if you want righteousness, deal with the father component, the air element. If you want character, deal with the daughter component, the earth element. If you want love, family, anything to do with the family, deal with the mama component, water element. And if you want the power or protection, the protection and the power, the creative power, then you deal with the fire element or the sun component. So that's the highest vibration versus us as vessel at the lowest level, and how we energize in connection to those highest levels of those four members of the royal family is how high we can spiral that energy back. And so right now, all that is coming together, all those components are coming into balance. That's the key to everything, so that we can balance from the highest to the lowest, from within so without. I say formula is the balance of opposites. And you balance opposites is where you create the whole or holistic. And there's a holistic purpose being served, and we're the culmination of a fulfillment of a universal purpose that's been unfolding through many lifetimes. And anytime we go into the Aquarius age is when we can now evolve to a new level when we call spiritual rulership. So, and that's by us being able to tap into the higher levels and make our connection to that highest royal family of spiritual energy. So that's pretty much my contribution. I hope that made some sense, because this is something I've been teaching for many, many years. So I know it might not be something that, a lot of us are familiar with, but most of the people that has been following me, understand that that's how I come to my information, looking at that energy through astrological vibrations. So
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mama Myrah. Thank you for
yes,
your prayer.
yeah,
Thank you for your words, your healing
you're
words.
so welcome.
I want to bring on now Mama Queen Afua. If you can hear, could you please come into the queue because we made space for you while we are waiting for her arrival. I want Mama Clark, Anna. You gotta say something to us because you made this happen. So come on now, talk to us.
Well, I wanted to acknowledge all the elders on this platform, and I'm happy to see you guys. Mm, uh, wow. I wanted to just speak to where I'm at currently, and the message I have is about grief. Um, I realized in my losing my partner, it's almost been 4 months now, and I feel like I passed my 90-day probation period, so to speak. But one thing I didn't know about grief, I hadn't really had a lot of grief in my life, I would say, or lost anybody really close to me. And so it was a new thing for me in so many ways. And what I want to speak about is the grief portal tonight that I didn't know existed until I went through it myself. And it was such an opening of many things. And I realized in that portal, that is when so many things came to surface, not only about my beloved that I lost, but also about my life, in general. I had to examine uh, myself all over again. I could not go back to the person that I was before this happened. It really opened the floodgates. And then I thought about how grief is not only for when you lose someone in your life, when someone transitions. A lot of women are grieving. A lot of women um, have disappointments, deep disappointments of expectations not being met in their life for whatever reasons. A failed marriage, lost a job. My children are wilding out, grieving a lot of different things these days. And what I learned in that grief portal is that how vulnerable you are in that moment of time. And I imagine that when people stay at this portal indefinitely or for a significant amount of time, how vulnerable you are. It's almost like standing outside on the corner butt ass naked, you know, and everybody can see you, or at least that's the way it feels. You're very raw, you're very tender. And so I thought about that, about how many people in the world may be experiencing just grief for whatever reasons, and how that affected my body, my mental state of being. I had never felt so weak in my life until that moment. And I was like, dang, I was not strong. I always considered myself a pretty strong person. I went through a lot of things in my life, but this was like beyond me. And I one thing about grief, that it sends you a lot of times into confusion, and you feeling of separation of some sorts from yourself. And so I said, man, I knew I had to move forward, but I didn't know how to do so. I didn't have the bandwidth to even think about different options at the time. And I would meet people, and I've worked with women for like 24 years in my life. And I would know people who would say, I'll never get over this. I'll never move past that. And I always would think, how can they just stay there? But I finally went through a personal situation where I realized how that was so possible, to just stay in that space. So I'm speaking to all the women who are maybe grieving, have lost near and dear to them, or disappointments near and dear to them, that you have to find a way to move forward. You have to, when the mothers came to me in this process, they were like, you got to ground yourself. And I remember when it first happened, I spent so much time outside. Everybody was like, do you want to come inside? I kept saying, no, I have my, barefoot. It was hot in Atlanta at the time. And I was like, I got to stay outside. I got to sit in this grass. I got to sit in the sun. I had to stay connected to the earth because I felt my core shaking. I felt my stability not being there for the first time in my life. And so I just wanted to speak to those people who may be experiencing that, because what I had to do, and I was glad Momma Ayana spoke about psychedelics, all of the years of medicine work that I did had came into play. It was application time. It was no longer a theory or a thought of thinking that, somewhere in the cosmos. It was actually the time to apply the things that I had learned in many of my journeys, to look at things from a different perspective. Truly, we talk about ancestors, we talk about these things, but when someone close to us passes, we forget it. We go into total amnesia sometimes. I can't make it through, and I had to, no matter what was going on, I had to really dig deep and say, I got a foundation. That spirit of confusion was so great for me that I knew that wasn't me. I knew it wasn't me. And I had to really grab a hold of myself on a deep level so that I could even be on this platform today. Because every day is not the same. It's like you hold on and you ride this wave, called life. You are the captain of that ship. You know what I'm saying? No matter what people say, or it's like, it's the lies that we believe about ourselves that's as detrimental to us, that is a distraction to us. The things that are not true, that we swallow, that's where a lot of the rage comes from. And in my opinion, is that we repeat these things. We tell our girlfriends, we tell our cousins, we tell our sisters the same lies generationally. And it's just not true. And when I went into that grief portal, I started doing that. I was like, wait, that's not me. I've never been that person. I don't believe that. Like, I had to really do some serious inventory those days. You know what I'm saying? To come on the other side of it. And I can look back now, even though it hasn't been that long. It feels like forever being in that cipher. You know what I'm saying? And I really had to really grab a hold. And that was the message that the mothers gave to me, because the day before he transitioned, I had a very spiritual experience, a very mystical experience. And the lady said, expect miracles. And and the next day he passed, and I was like, what part of the game is this? You know what I'm saying? Expect miracles. I'm in shambles. But I'm holding on to that phrase. You know what I'm saying? I'm still holding on to that because I know I'm a miracle. You know what I'm saying? And we all are, who's listening, who's on this platform, we all got a story. You know what I'm saying? Of triumph, of defeat. But that's why we still are here. We're still here to live the story. I see story as medicines. You know what I'm saying? It's something I always tell people, put that in your pocket. I tell my children, put that in your pocket. You might not know what I'm talking about today, but maybe one day you'll understand this portal I'm talking about. Or maybe you are in it right now. And all I'm saying is find your anchor. You know what I'm saying? And not to be so personal, but when I had my son 16 years ago, I guess I had home births, and I pushed my bottom out, and I had hemorrhoids. And I hadn't dealt with those hemorrhoids till I started being in grief again this year. And I was like, whoa, what in the world? They flared up on me. And when I always deal with the emotional roots of diseases. And when I looked that up, it said have you lost a loved one? Have you lost somebody, near and dear to you, or spouse, or are you going through divorce? And I said, man, that's so interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all sacral chakra work, because you start questioning your stability. Do I have what I need? Do I have enough? Am I enough? Can I make it? I started questioning all those type of things. And so once I read the emotional roots of hemorrhoids, it made so much sense to me that the way I was processing wasn't doing me any good. It was not helping me out in my processing, because I was seeing things from a different lens. And so I just had to change the channel. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of us have to do. That's a lot of us. That's the work that I do, is that you change the channel until you own a channel that you can live with, that serves you. Why people pay for 250 channels and they watch one channel and they get mad at that channel, and you got so many options, and that's the good news, is that we got options, and that we do not have to stay in one space indefinitely unless we choose to do so. And that's I refuse, I refuse to stay there. I refuse to do so, because I was like, no, I'm better than this. I will not have amnesia. I will not go into confusion just because I'm grieving. I say 4 is the door. And when I turned 44 last year, I'm about to be 45 in about a week or so. And I knew it was the opportunity. And one of the things that I said was, it doesn't matter if you're in crisis or not. Look for the opportunity, because I guarantee you it's there. And when he passed, that's all I've been flooded with, was opportunities to be a better person, to have better character, to be on this platform, speaking my truth. You know what I'm saying? Carrying that legacy that he left. It didn't have to die with him. You know what I'm saying? And so I just say, stop believing the lies. It's application time, women. All of the things that you've been gathering, what have you been gathering it for if you're not going to use it? You become a hoarder. You become a hoarder in your mind. Like we talk about pack rats. They had a whole show about hoarders and everything. But you can do that in your mind. And then you don't have no space because you're not sharing. That's where I was. I wasn't sharing my truth. I wasn't sharing, how I felt all the time, And so I had to start unpacking stuff. I had to start speaking and, utilizing my throat chakra, on a grand level. I could not shut down. And that's what I wanted to do initially when the grief portal opened up. I wanted to shut down. I wanted to turn my phone off. I wanted to stop speaking, but I knew crazy was going to come for me if I did it that way, if I handled it that way. And so my word tonight is if you are experiencing grief, find a way to anchor yourself to something, you know what I'm saying? Inside of you, not outside of you, but inside of you, that you can transverse that whole thing and just hold on tight, because things will get better. You know what I'm saying? My ancestors say, we're going to show you the beauty in all of this. And that was hard to hear at the time, because all I could see was very dismal, very dark. So I'm going to get to my beauty. I'm getting there. It is possible. It's not an impossible thing. We're living in a time that we haven't really seen before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, that evolution, we all have to make a choice. Do we want to evolve? Because if you do, then you know what work you need to do. And if you don't, that's fine too. Everybody ain't gonna make that choice. You know what I'm saying? So That's why Mama Ayana was talking about psychedelics. That's why I do them, because I wanted to have tools and the technology to maintain my sanity.
Thank
Really,
you.
you know what I'm saying? So
Thank
that's
you,
what I
Mama.
got to say, Hank Rising,
Thank you, Mama
tonight.
Clark. Thank you for your prayer and your sharing your soul with us. I want to
Yes.
thank Mama Queen Afua for joining us.
Yes.
I want to, at this time, turn the mic over to Momma Medicine woman, Joanna. You got to unmute your mic, Joanna. Let me see if you could do it from here. Oh, yeah, you got it.
Hi, everybody. Thank you
Yes.
for inviting me tonight to this beautiful prayer that we're doing all together. I want to send this prayer to all the women that are suffering, to all the women that are wanting to feel the love within and without around them. I want to send a special prayer to the female waters. May they all heal. May they uh, may they not be afraid to give birth. Um, to bring good children to this world and to this ancient memory of who we really are, that we have forgotten, that we are an expression of love. So we could gain the strength to feel. I know some of you have mentioned the anger that we carry, and we know that anger sometimes comes from our mothers. I could remember when Ayana mentioned the mothers that are angry and slamming the cabinets and everything, and I just took me back to when I was a child, and my mother used to do that, and she did feel that my father wasn't, being loving, and she basically the love that she was looking for, just for somebody to hold her. And I want to send a special prayer to that too, to women that feel unloved or feel like the men are not sharing the load, and that sometimes we are not heard or are not supported. There's so much pain that we carry in our bodies, sometimes in our womb. So I want to send a special prayer for the healing of our womb, for this lack of support sometimes that women feel like they maybe have a sense of not being enough, and they have to put themselves to perhaps compete with men and forget their role, that they don't have to, because we're beautiful. Everybody knows that women are beautiful, and somehow we've believed that we're not for some reason, and I don't know how through thousands and millions of years somehow uh, we've believed it. We Because of that we feel less sacred, but we are so sacred, and I want to send a special prayer for our sacredness, so that we feel and we remember that we're sacred, and that we have so much to give. We are the true leaders in this planet, with our open hearts. I'll send a special prayer to love, because we are a natural expression of the divine and of Mother Earth. A special prayer to that we may have clarity, that we are being the best reflection of Mother Earth, so that she heals with our love, and we could be a beautiful projection of her, because that's who we symbolize. We are givers, we are lovers, we put ourselves second. And if we don't realize that, even when our children fall to the ground, automatically we feel it in our core. So if you have any doubt, that you're not doing your best as a woman, as a mother, I want to send a special prayer to this memory, uh, uh, that you're beautiful, that we're beautiful, and that sometimes, we're lost because we can't see ourselves, we can't see our own mirror of who we are, and we're distracted, I think, in many ways, um, because we have forgotten who we are. And this has caused a lot of pain, I think, and a lot of lack of courage for us to feel good in our own bodies. I hear some of the sisters, feeling good in your own body as a woman is it's so important to value that, in order for us to also attract the men that we're supposed to attract, because there is a big issue that women are not finding their partners, finding the respect like they deserve, and they settle for men that are not giving them the support, that are not helping them in their home, that are not also honoring their role as men. They have a duty to protect us, to and we're forgetting that, and we're not demanding it from the men, and then we settle, and we end up, expecting to have that from a man when we're really supposed to put the standard. We're not supposed to lower our standards. So I want to send a special prayer for the women to remember that, to remember that their value is unmeasurable, and that we are an example for the women. Talking about, we are our mother, we are our grandmother, our great grandmother, 7 generations back. We're also 7 generations forward. My daughter is me, and my granddaughter will be me. So I invite all of you to come and sit with us. I serve the medicine, Grandfather Wachuma, also known as Saint Peter, who opens the gates to heaven, who takes us 7 generations back to heal our mother. So we didn't have a chance, and maybe she passed away. We're able to see maybe the hardships that she had, and maybe she did the best that she could. Maybe there's something we need to forgive, and we're able to send this prayer of unity so that we could heal her. When we heal her, we could also heal our grandmother and our great grandmother, but also we could send this prayer forward to heal ourselves first, and then heal the others. And our grandfather Wachuma says there are no others, so everything's mirrors everywhere. And we can learn. We have to start with ourselves, healing ourselves first, and then send this prayer to heal all our relations. And especially for Madame Clark, who's in this grieving process, I also want to invite you to nurture yourself and heal yourself in this process of grieving, and remembering that your partner is with you, and you can send this prayer of love and appreciation and gratitude. I think for all the hardships as women that we go through, it's not in vain. We're growing through all these hardships, and I know that sometimes it's hard for us to understand from a different perspective. I know that you mentioned seeing life from a different perspective, and our grandfather Wachuma does show us as many perspectives as possible, because we're limited in our own journeys, in our own pain, and sometimes we could get stuck with the feelings. And I know one of the other panelists mentioned about the waters, about flowing our emotions, and it's so true. We need to flow with our emotions and not get too long holding on to certain lower vibrations of pain, um, and learn to flow like the water does, learn to transform like the fire does. We are fire, our spirit is fire, and we are 70% water, and we are air. So we can learn to breathe and be in the present as well. And we are earth, we eat earth. And I send this special prayer also to Mother Earth, who is the perfect example of giving and never demanding anything back. Um, and so we are all of those. We are all those bodies, and we are all of that composition. And I pray that the Great Spirit guides us and helps us in this journey of growing, of remembering who we are, so that we could be an expression of the Great Spirit, and that we could help the others as well. It's not only about us. I know somebody mentioned that. I know that the standard is that we need to love ourselves before loving others, but it's intertwined. We love ourselves, and when we love ourselves, we love others. So it's a message that sometimes contradicts itself, because sometimes if we only love ourselves, we could get caught up in that story and forget about the others. But there are no others. So when we love ourselves, we automatically love the others. And sometimes we're loving the others because we love ourselves. And I just want to send that message, so that if you have been in a position where you feel like you're giving too much love, it's because it's what you carry inside. You're full of love, so you're able to give it. But you also have to take care. We have to take care of ourselves too, and see where is it that maybe we have our own shortcomings and our own blinders. So I pray for this awakening for us, this beautiful journey. I pray for all the women that are in pain, all the women that are alone, that are looking for their partners. I'm praying for the healing of all the wounds, of all the pain that we carry through who knows how many incarnations, and for our women, for our daughters, for our children that are also needing, our male children are needing this female energy so that they learn to balance. And they're also looking at us for an example, because they also have to be nurturing as well and loving. So we have a big role to play, women. We have such an important role. I know that it's hard, to put all that weight on us, but we are a tremendous expression of the Great Spirit. And I invite you to come and sit with the medicine to heal and to be guided anytime. I'll have Brother Hank leave my information. Mrs. Bliss has sat with us in ceremony. Thank you, Mrs. Bliss, such a powerful woman.
It it heals our broken
Thank
hearts and our
you.
wounded
And I
souls.
yes, I
Such
love
in
it.
such 7 generations back, my phone be ringing when I come off Wachuma Mountain every time. So I want to thank you, Momma Joanna. I want to thank Tata Oswald, and I want to thank Momma Ayana and Madam Clark and all the mamas that are present. And please be patient because we're rotating the mamas' messages to the world. And because of the seniority, I want to give the big sister mamas first priority. And thank you, Momma Joanna.
Thank
And
you.
Diana, if Queen Mother Afua is ready, we're going to bring her forward if she's there. If you can hear us, we would love to hear your message. Please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
I kind of like taking the camera off. That's so good. Just to, old school, just to be able just to be here in the spirit, not so much seeing you, but feeling you. So thank you for inviting me, Hank Rising Sun, Diana Pharr, and my community.
Well, you got to thank Miss Bliss. She put together videos and she's really running this. Mama Queen of Force. It's the Leos and her moon is Leo, even though she's Capricorn. And afterwards, I want to bring on Momma Akila. I see you there being patient, Momma Akila. So you sitting right next to Diana and Momma Kareemah, and I see Adara in the queue. So please share with us your heart, Mama Queen of Four.
No, all the mamas, that's wonderful. I love this. When you bring us all together, it's a body. So it takes all of our body, mind, and spirit to come together with different aspects to help us to heal. I put together a document 4 years ago, and it was called Planet Heal. And it was in keeping with what is being done, which is to gather the healers together to bring answers to what we need. So I will do my portion. And my vision, one of my visions is, and I think this kind of shows up in Sacred Woman or Circles of Wellness or Heal Thyself. It's a common thread or impeccable listening. It's a common thread, which is to create a healer, the birth to bring forth a healer in every family and a wellness center in every home as an answer to protect us, our family, and our community and all our relations. And I've witnessed it happen through those different teachings that I share. Last 2 weeks ago, I was at Harlem Hospital and I was presenting with Stephanie McGraw, and her work is warm, and it says, "We really matter." So I partnered with her, shouldered her with her initiative, because I was right there with her when two things happened last year. She came in her home. I just called her because my daughter encouraged me to reach out. And she said that a husband took the life of his wife and then himself. And they left behind 7 children. And 2 of the ladies were twins, little babies. What level of trauma, stress, hurt to lead one to that place? And approximately 3 weeks ago, and many traumas happened in her work, body of work in that way. And then about 3 weeks ago, a husband killed his wife, then his 1-year-old, shot to death, and his 3-year-old, and then himself. What degree of pain and suffering that one goes through that could have them go to those lengths to relieve pain, to release trauma. So I've been with her, supporting her. She can't come into my retreat center in Atlanta to recover from some of the suffering that she has to run to. And right before her coming, I had someone else come in, which was Erica Ford, came to my retreat space because she was really, oversaturated because her work is stopping the gun violence in the streets. So on one hand, stopping the domestic violence and life camp to stopping the violence in the street. And then they would come, why come to me with this such intense violence? Because one of the things I see, my primary work is food is medicine. And we have daily acts of violence that we're unconscious of from what we're putting in our system and calling it food, because everything that we put in our mouth doesn't mean that it's food. And then what is the end result of what a lot of what we're putting in is magnifying the 40 years of chattel slavery, the broken families, the women left to raise their children as single parents. And so then you add the food in that is creating deeper violence, which is to me called cancer, which is high blood pressure, which is asthma, which I was one who had the asthma, and they would call asthma attack. So I was being attacked by what I was putting in my system, and I was unconscious at the time as a young girl and as a teenager, and the violence would shut down my lungs. My next door neighbor at age 13, she passed away at age 13, and I would always like, wow, her family has a pizza every Friday, and she always has extra money to get the ice cream, and the ice cream truck would come around. And as later on I found that the dairy is deadly, the starch, not able to process it, just attacks. So that's when in other cases you can get a heart attack and you have enough fried food in your system. So I look at, if we would start to detox, it would help us to process life. It would help us to begin to attract healthier relations because it's frequency. And I found, and I love the sharing of the elements because that's my primary work, ether, fire, water, earth, that if we would cleanse and detoxify ourselves, liberation to purification, we can stop so much of the violence that is happening in our mind that's causing us to harm ourselves, or the violence in our heart that we give up and we stay, we dwell in depression, that we could stop attracting relationships that are not loving and kind and compassionate, that we could cleanse. And so with fasting and cleansing and juicing and taking our herbs consistently, that we can create more peace within, that we can create more balance and harmony. that we can get in tune with these three guardians that are spiritual guardians that would help us if we would contemplate them as we would come off of the meat and the dairy and the sugar that's a few molecules away from crack and cocaine. And these are violent foods. They're violent foods. And so I want to encourage everyone to have peace-filled foods, foods from the garden, natural foods, foods from the soil the mother has already given and provided for us. And we take those foods in. The greens is the primary, that we would be able to heal. So I would share 4 um, groups of food that if we would saturate our body temples with those foods, that we would just go into a state of peace. And it won't take but a few days to start to see a shift. And then you would see such a shift that maybe you'll be inspired and encouraged to live that way, to actually end the internal violence and start to magnify that internal peace that is waiting for us all. So on a air level, when you eat a lot of dairy, it shuts down your lungs, so that's you can't breathe. That was my life as a child, teenager. And just to inhale was hard, it was painful. And exhale, I just felt, how can I do this? How can I breathe in? And after I finished breathing, I got to breathe out. And it's so hard. And my lungs were so dry. And well, I've learned of simple things like lemons and limes and cider vinegar and scallions and garlic and all that would cause my lungs to be relieved of that pain and that violence. And I took it in and I shared it with so many others over the years that you can get your lungs back by taking in less cooked foods and more foods from the sun cooked foods. And that would create inner peace in your respiratory. And then the fire, um, high blood pressure or low blood pressure or quick to anger, you have to clean out the blood. Women are suffering from heavy menstrual flows of 5 and 6 and 7 days. And if you start to clean out the blood and restore the blood, then you would bleed less and you would have more energy and you'd find more peace. So the berries family, to embrace the berry family, the berries, the blueberries, the blackberries, the raspberries, the cranberries, the red clover, the chaparral, start cleaning out the bloodstream. And then you would come into emotional harmony. And then the water, oftentimes when I do energy readings, most people are dry. We're made of, as our sister, 75% water, but we're dry inside and outside. So take your baths, take one tonight and feel the peace that would take you into a state of peace, a healing bath of herbs and aromatherapy and, from lavender to hyssop to frankincense and myrrh to rose and put in the tub Dead Sea salt or Epsom salt and light a white candle for clear vision. Allow that element of water to circle you and let go of the rage that maybe you're carrying from your mother's pain or your father's pain, trapped in the DNA. So let go. And each bath, you find yourself layers and layers of hurt and stress and pain will pour out of your skin into the water, and you will get yourself back while in the tub drinking lime water and taking your chamomile tea to calm you in your hops and moving into the earth element. And the earth element is to saturate yourself every day with greens. I'm here in Georgia, and I can't, I can't just get to a store. So I make sure that I get enough greens that is in the house because I'm in the country. This is where the retreat is. And I take a green juice. I have dedicated myself, particularly these last 7 days. It's like a great awakening ritual. Make sure you get your greens. So I've been juicing my cucumbers for the kidneys and the circulation, and the ginger for the respiratory, and the a turn up to strengthen my bones and my emotional stability. And dark kale and chard, and I just put that in the juicer and taking it in. It has made such a difference. I feel so centered and so strong in my spirit. And sometimes I forget that I'm 70 because I don't feel what I've been told. You're told if you get older, you have to decrease your vitality when actually you can increase it if you nourish yourself. So the elements, air, fire, water, earth, that was spoken of tonight, I just co-signed that. And then one thing is inversion. I would encourage everyone to get 3 pillows. You don't have to pay for anything to get that circulation going. And put that at the foot of the bed, lay down, let the legs be higher than the body. And that was a way that our ancestors said that we could bring our soul back to life. And something so simple as breathing and relaxing and allow that blood flow to come back into your womb and back into and forward into your heart, and build up your heart and clear up your arteries, and into your throat for clear communication, into the brain for higher mind, into the nervous system to recover us from stress. So inversion therapy is something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, and I encourage everyone to do that, to bring your soul back to life, but also bring your body and your mind with you, back to you. What I'm offering, because of when I was preparing to go to Harlem Hospital, I was really happy to be there, because it's like at this time, holistic health and allopathic medicine must come together and unify. Because when people come to see natural healers, oftentimes taking a long time to get to us because they're afraid. They're afraid they're going to have to give up who they trusted all their lives. And when I say that, it could be a merge where once you start with any form of our modalities, a month later you go back to your physician, they'll start cutting back on whatever that medication was. You don't have to tell them to come off of it. The doctor will tell them to come off it. Or maybe they can prevent that surgery, that organ removal, because they've changed their lifestyle with any one of us. So, I mean, I had a wonderful moment with Dr. Vernon Sheridan today. We've been together, Diana Farr, we're all sister friends. She's a physician now for about 40 years. And she said, Queen, I need that breath of life. I need 3 cases of it. I said, Dr. Sher, I'm so glad that you still want it and need it for your patients. And we've been together like that. She says, I need that clay, for one of my family members in a lot of pain. And so that kind of coming together. And that's what this feels like tonight, where the mamas, each one is so valuable. Everything that you've said, I've been here at the beginning. Everything that you've said, I took it in, I drinked it in, and I said, we have a wealth. We have a wealth of healers, a wealth of information. And the deeper it gets on the planet, it seems like we will be needed that much more, because when the pandemic hit, you were all started working even more, because we had answers. We did the work. We were we rested and we stayed in the gap, and we were able to help many of us get through that. And we will be there. We will be there when things hit the fan. Things are hitting the fan all the time. There's always another thing on this planet of so much pain. It's a pain culture. It's a painful world. But at the same time, it's a world of peace. And that peace is within us if we tap in and unearth it and purify and cleanse. One of the things I'm doing is November the 16th. I'm having a Woman Heal Thyself 7-day intensive detox. Of course, you have to register now, and it will include my Wound Care Love 7-day detox kit, or my classical Heal Thyself detox kit. It will include I'm coming on 7 days straight, an hour of power for it. And we're going to pray, we're going to heal, and we're going to detox. We're going to go in our kitchen labs, and we're going to make tonics and foods and salads and, what we need to empower us, so that we just can stop this suffering and this pain. And out of that, be able to look at your family and say, okay, I'm empowered. One of our sisters spoke about that we have so much power in us, and that we can take those 7 days and be in unity, be in activation of our wellness, and then pour it into our families. Learn, become your own healer of your family, and then let your home become a wellness home, and we'll all recover. You can reach me at queenafua.com and register, or just call and ask questions, and we'll help you to come on board. And those who are in Atlanta who really need some hands-on help, I call it an African Healing Ashram here, and I will be able to help you. You can come for a day, you can come for 3 days, and I'm at your service. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Holistic family and leadership. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ashe. Thank you for your beautiful words. Greatly appreciated. Family, so we want to give the sister Akila, who's been so patient with us as we went through so many people on the panel. Sister Akila, you want to unmute your mic? Can you? Yes, there you go. Welcome.
Well, welcome and good evening to everyone. While everyone was talking, I was actually taking down notes, because everything that was said from the whole idea of loving others and how that relates to loving the self, to this idea of the angry Black woman, it's just been a treasure of pieces of knowledge that I can put together. And the way I want to string it together is that I'm an educator. That's what I do. I teach. That's who I am. And so I always think about, well, I always ponder about the future and what that means. And as women, we really are the caretakers. We are the guards of the future, because what we want to see in life is what we nurture. And the nurturing starts with us. So I say I'm a teacher, but I'm a mother, which is the greatest teacher that you can ever have, right? And I'm a grandmother, which, listen, if you don't have grandchildren or have grandnieces and grandnephews, there is no love like that. Like, you think you love your children. Yes, your children are nice. They're cute. But you're kind of done with them. But your grandchildren, that's a love that is eternal and lasts forever. So I'm always thinking about my grandchildren or my grandnephews, grandnieces, that kind of stuff. So as we think about the future and all of the wonderful things that you've said, well, how do we inculcate that into our children as mothers, as grandmothers, and as a lesser extent, as teachers? Like, what do we do? How do we teach our children to deal with their pain? How do we teach our children not just to see someone pray, but to actually pray in those times of need? Do they have a prayer that they know? What is it that they go to? And just piggybacking on some of the discussions I've had with Diana Pharr, like, do we even teach our children the basic practice of breathing, which is something that Sister Diana does? So how do we teach those things? How do we put the future into our children by giving them a fire in their belly so that no matter what, they'll learn to educate themselves? Because that's something like that Marcus Garvey said, and some of our other prominent leaders, our mother leaders. We've got to teach our children how to educate ourselves. We've got to teach our children not just resilience of the self, but resilience of the group. We've got to also, we've also got to teach our children how to persevere, not just with resilience again, but to understand that life is not a bed of roses. TV is really not real, and that relationships are complicated in many ways. Because if not, then they're just looking for that, oh, when I become 21 years old, I'll have this great life. And it doesn't happen like that. We're all tempered, right? We all go through the fire. That's why we're all standing here. We all have gone through the fire. We've all have been like a sword, that you stick the sword in fire to temper it, right? And then you take it out to cool it. Then you may have to stick it in the fire again to temper it some more. Then you take it out to cool it. So when do we teach our children the actual patterns of life? Yes, you can have a joyous life, but there are going to be points in time that you're going to need to be tempered. And what does true courage mean? It means you just stand no matter what. I mean, you cry, but you still stand, right? You cry, you fall down, and someone even kicks you while you're down. But guess what? You still, inch by inch, you get up and you stand. So where do we teach our children that, and how do we do that? So I'm just thinking about things, and I've been teaching since 1976, and I've been a mother, well, for many years, maybe not as many as some people, but for many years. And I find that being a teacher and having children, your children don't like that. Like my children have told me that all you ever wanted to do was teach us, right? So with my grandchildren, I tried to learn from that, right? So with my grandchildren, I do incidental learning now. I put something up in the house, and then I just go back to it over and over again. I may stay a month on it, but on that month, I may be teaching a syllabication. I'm just putting that out there, right? But I'm going back to it, and I'm using the same words over again, and I'm moving the syllables. I may teach you, I'm just giving an example, the Lord's Prayer. I'll just hang it up, and I'll say, who can say the first line without looking? You don't know this thing. This has been up here. You don't know it, and then the children will see that as a game. So incidental learning, and also modeling. Sometimes we think our children are not looking at us, and then they come up with these things like they're telling you what you did, and you're like, wow, I didn't even notice you were even noticing that. Or you do things with your children and they'll say, that really bothered me. Well, it didn't seem like it bothered me when you thought that you were lipping me off, right? So, but modeling, and also project-based learning, doing projects with our children, moving them to the future in their spirit with the idea that we come from a people that had nothing. And yet we look around us and we've created the concept of everything that exists in this world. And we have a 450,000 year history. So the last thing I want to leave you with is something I'm also hearing more and more from other people. I had this idea. It's not my only, I'm not the only one, but I had this idea. I thought I was the only one when I said it before, years ago. But as women, we have to also plan for 500 years or 5 generations, and at the least 3 generations. So these are the generations. Deal with your mama correctly, because everybody's watching, and that's how they're going to deal with you. Okay, so that's one generation. Deal with your children as best as you can, because every child is different, and we know that we're going to make quote unquote mistakes, even though there are no mistakes in this world. We're never going to leave this life that we're not, oh gosh, I shouldn't have done that with this child. It's just not going to happen because we're human. That's the second thing. So deal with our children, mother, child, deal with the possibility of your children having children or your nieces and nephews having children, and plan for them as well. And then the other 2 generations come in, because you're going to now tell your children that they have to have a life insurance policy, that they have to do certain basic things, whatever those things are, in order to have this focus of a 5 generations. Because it took 2,000 years for us to come to this reality. It does not necessarily have to take another 2,000 years. But we can't just think of the self. We have to think about the self beyond us. So thank you so very much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Mama Akila. And Kareemah, thank you for being so patient, Mama Kareemah.
Yes.
Talk to us, Mama Kareemah, because you are
Listen,
a big mama for real.
listen, I am at all of awe. And like Sister said, I'm taking notes since the first. And I'm up here taking notes. I'm like, I don't mind waiting. I'm taking notes. So praise be. And I got a whole sense during this whole time because I didn't know what I was going to say. Like, what am I going to say? Like, I'm just a mom of 7 and I homeschooled for over 22 years. Okay. And so I'm like, you know what? Well, all I was feeling, and I'm a new grandma too. So, so praise be for that. But all I was feeling this whole time was gratitude, absolute gratitude. And, as I was getting these notes and tidbits, I was just grateful to the place I'm in now. Like a lot of things, people are saying little things from here and there. I'm like, wow, I do that, or I know that. I know about, how to eat to live. I know about that our wombs are the direct replicas of the universe. Hence, we're mother, like for real, because we have a direct replica in our body to manifest heaven or hell on earth. And I just want to speak on gratitude. And the sister before me was talking about how do you teach your children to pray. I think that's what you said. But I teach my children to pray, but I also teach on gratitude and really looking at even the little things. Because I always say, you put on the whole armor of God, you keep that whole armor of God on and you protect your prayers. That is like number one for me. And I'm still grasping onto that. So I'm not 100% on the how-tos but I do know one of the things of prayer protection is absolute gratitude. Absolute gratitude. And I was taught that God speaks through people, and I am been hearing nothing but the grace and love, because God is love, and the love of God I'm just listening, and I don't know what else to say, and I'm just so grateful, and like Mama Afua was saying, the kitchen lab, like my love language is canning. My love language is canning, creating wonderful, healthy meals. And I love my baths. I love giving my children they spiritual baths, or they get off that extra junky energy bath. And I'm reading off notes. Oh, and the whole thing about love. This is the last thing. I'm going to be very short. I believe love is duty. Love is duty, and duty is absolute work. And like Sister said, love ain't all emotion, the lovey-dovey, the fairy tale. That's wonderful, the experience, but love is absolute duty. And not all the time love looks nice. Love does not look nice. When you're receiving loving information about yourself. I know when people tell me about me or whatever it is they want to teach me, not all the time I want to hear that. But it's absolute love, honesty. And that's for me the purest form of just love. But anyway, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to just sit here amongst such wonderful information, such wonderful love and manifestations of the multifaceted beings that we are as women. And that is it. I again thank y'all, and I absolutely appreciate it. And my message today was find gratitude no matter what you're going through, what it is, anything, every day, the littlest things. Oh, sorry about my camera. Gratitude. And I will be taking more notes. And I thank y'all. And that absolutely it. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Kareemah. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for that message. Yeah, so we want to present Professor Melanie, who's also been waiting patiently. Melanie, you want to unmute your mic?
Peace, everyone. Peace, family. Peace, peace. First, thank you, Brother Hunk, for having this platform. Thank you for Ms. Bliss for doing all the work behind the scenes. I'm grateful for you. I want to say this, peace, Ayana, Iyi, all the elders who came before. When you, this is my first time, seeing you on camera. I've heard of you before. But when you first started speaking, I just felt like this fire, like in my sacral chakra. And I was like, whoa. So thank you so much for, igniting that fire, for starting this off tonight. Um, so I said, what is it that I want to share? I had no idea what I wanted to share. And as usual, I meditate first and I ask, is there any message, for me to share for those women out here? So this is specifically for all of you, the teachers, the healers, the guides, the counselors, all of you powerful women out here that are doing your work, that are on your path, that are trying to figure it out. This is a channeled message that I'm going to share with you right now. Let go of fear, for it is this fear that is holding you back and is not who you are. This fear has trapped the power of your wombs and secured silence. This fear has conditioned your minds that you are not enough when in fact you are all. And so when I received that, what I realized is that, fear is the lowest vibrational emotion. It keeps us trapped. But for women, it has kept us trapped from ourselves. Okay. It keeps us in fear of who our true selves are. Most of us don't know who we are. What is it that we desire? What is it that we want to do? Who are we? What are we here to do? And it's due to the conditions of this patriarchal system that we are in, right? So it's time out of trying to blame that, trying to blame whomever. And it's now time for the divine feminine to stand up. This is the energy on this planet at this time. This is what's happening statistically. This is what's happening genetically across the globe. And so this is a message of empowerment for all of you. I remember about 10 years ago when I dedicated my life and said, you know what, I'm going to actually be on my spiritual journey. I'm going to actually do this work. And there was social media wasn't here, y'all. Okay. So there was no social media like it is now. It was go to a library, read a book. Okay. And at this time, there was a resurgence of consciousness, but it was really male dominated. And it was a lot of men doing debates on the internet. And I didn't really see the presence of a lot of women. And I was like, well, where are they? It was really hard to find teachers out there. And so I remember, again, Momma Ayana mentioned psychedelics. And so I actually took some plant medicine, was in a really lost place of who I was as a woman, knowing that I had to be a spiritual teacher. And I remember very powerfully, I was opened up and I started channeling a lot of ancient deities, primordial mothers, some of who I didn't know who was at the time. So Osset, Yamaya, Mary McLeod Bethune. They just were like in a room, like rushing to get information to me. And so it was not what I thought femininity was. I was thinking femininity is, oh, soft and, submissive. And that's not their energy. Their energy was very fire, very powerful. And the message was, we are the communicator. We are the science. We are the power. We are the magic. Therefore, you are that as well. And so when I received that information, it empowered me to stand up in who I was, to do my work, though I was shaking, though I was nervous, though I did not feel like I had all the knowledge. What I had was that fire that was lit within me. And so I want to share that all with you today, to know that this is who you are. It is backed by truth. I always say truth is truth. It is backed by the genetics. If you just open up a biology book and read the genetics, you know, your makeup, your biological makeup of who you are as a woman. And I'm speaking to those who hold wombs in their bodies, okay? If you understand who you are, the powerful being that you are, then there are no longer excuses. There are no longer reasons of why you can't be this, why you can't do that, okay? One of the other things that I want to also impress upon you all is, and I always say this to my students, if you're in the middle of the desert, right? There's no phone, there's no YouTube, there's no social media, there's no books, there's no crystals, there's no tarot cards, there's nothing. It's just you and you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Right? And here's the problem. This is a problem, and I'm going to give you the solution. But the problem is that we're not tapped into who we are. Again, that fear. We're afraid of who we are. So we don't know what to do when there's no physical resource around us, when everything is within us. You are the all. Okay? And so when you know how to tap into who you are, right? You don't need all those outside resources. Okay? And so this is something that I really want to impress upon you. Meditate, get to know who you are, speak to your ancestors, right? Speak to your spirit team. They're always talking to you. And believe it or not, it's like a legion of them. They have your back and they're ready. They're cheering you on like, you can do this. What do you need? You know, we're here to support you. We are just in a place of, I don't know. Am I worthy enough? Am I this enough? Am I smart enough? I'm telling you, you are all right? And so I'm going to leave you with 3 things. Get your pens and notebooks out. I always tell people I always have something, so write this down. 3 things. Number 1, connect to you, okay? It is important to connect to you at this time, okay? If you are connected to you, you are connected to spirit. Okay. And so all these things that are going on in the world, all these crazy, every time you turn on a social media or TV, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, it's a war again. It's a this, it's a that. If you are connected to who you are, you're connected to spirit, you're always going to be guided. Remember, you are guided, protected, and loved at all times. So fear is not a thing. Okay. Number 2, trust you. Trust you. Women have this thing called the womb, okay? And in this womb space, it is power and it speaks to us. And women say this a lot. Oh, my gut told me. It's not your gut. It is your womb that is speaking to you. And if you listen to your womb, when your womb is saying yes, no, left, right, then your path is made easier. So start trusting yourself. Do not, because someone is, you know, someone is big or major or important and you feel like, well, it's just me, I should trust them over me. Always trust you first. You are not going to steer you wrong, especially when you are connected to you. And number 3, love you. The sister mentioned earlier about love. You know, one of the things that I blew my mind when I first became aware of who I was spiritually, I was like, oh, this Bible is, you know, written by the white man. It's a lie. And Spirit said, no, pick up that Bible. There's truth in there. And the first thing I read was a chapter on love. And when I read it, I realized that love is not what we think it is. It does not mean take abuse. It does not mean restrict your own needs, restrict your sexuality. Okay. It does not mean to harm yourself to help others. It means love yourself first. And like Momma Joanna said, by you loving yourself, you love others. But we don't even know how to love ourselves. So we're not properly loving others, which means we're not loving ourselves because those others are reflecting back onto us. So the third thing is love you. Love you. So with that, again, I'm honored to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you for, you know, Miss Bliss for setting this up, for Brother Honk for setting this up as well. And thank you, Momma Iyi, for setting this fire within us.
Thank you so much, Professor Melanie. Thank you so much. I hope everybody got their notes today. Who's writing down or putting notes in their phone like me? I don't know whether y'all use technology like this or. Radens, are you on? We can't hear you.
I want to thank you, Professor Mama Melanie, for your words. I want to thank all the mamas here, and I want to thank all the mamas that were patient because we were supposed to have Mama Janelle, who has in the process cycle of creation, muffin is in her oven. I just said it. Nobody else says it, in a soft manner. That she's in creation, but she had to go to sleep because baby called. She had to go to sleep. So I want to thank you, um, Mama Professor Melanie, for your words. And I want to also now, I want to bring up um, our big Mama Kufunya, Leo, because we have feline forces. I see you over there, Mama Adara. We're gonna have you give some words and thank you, Leo Melanie, and now we have Leo Kufunya, and to the far lower left we have Mama Pisces Rihanna, and she's gonna share some poetry. So we got fire, water, earth. I don't know where the air is, but
It's coming.
it's coming. So I'm gonna go backstage again.
Yes, greetings and salutations. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank Miss Bliss for putting this thing together, and Madame Clark and Unc Rising Sun for including me. I mean, I feel so honored to be here. And what I'm going to share this evening is some of my poetry to talk about, what's going on in the world and how Earth Mother deals with us. So um, I'm going to take myself off camera and I just want you to listen to what I am going to contribute this evening. It's a few short poems that I like to utter. And if you want to ask questions after, I am open to that. So thank you very much. The first poem is called To Be a Mother. To be a mother is not easily won, but its rewards are infinite if you're a positive one. To be a mother takes power and guts, and its rewards and setbacks are second to none. For there are no instructions or guarantees for these little ones we guide and feed. Just trials and errors for every mom, regardless of race or creed. To be a mother, you must be strong, because 24 hours just ain't that long. Shaping the future generations to teach them right from wrong. The president's job, you think that's tough? Balance the budget, at least they have funds. We mothers are magicians, teachers, doctors, janitors, comforters, economists, all rolled into one. And you think it's over at 21? You send them to college, you get a reprieve, and turn around and find they never do leave. To be a mother is not a battle easily won. Its rewards are many if you're a positive one. Love, love, and prayers, willpower, courage, and the value set will shower these little beings with positive dreams, future for all human beings. Ah, to be a mother. The next one is untitled, dealing with what's happening in the world today. And as one of the sisters was speaking, I think that was Professor Melanie, was saying, I wonder what I could bring to the forum. That's what she was saying. And Spirit guided me to share my spoken word. So thank you for listening. The next one is called Untitled. And it was written in the early 90s after watching the war between Russia and Afghanistan and 4 journalists who traveled from different countries who reported the war and how the war affected each family and how each family felt after they were killed. And it was aired on Point of View, Channel 13, a documentary. Why? Why do people fight wars of someone else's dreams? They never feel the pain, always connected to Mother Earth. Mother, I feel the pain. Why do men fight wars of someone else's dream? Those who create wars must fight instead of causing others to shed blood and tears pouring like rain. War for profit, war for land, war for land that is not even our own. I cannot understand. Mother Earth, Mother, why not fight the wars within? The hate, the anger, the fear, the jealousy, the aggression, the hunger, the poverty, the evil intentions, and the lies. As Bob would say, man to man is so unjust. Why must wars be fought for someone else's dreams? Those who create wars never ever feel the pain that runs deep, like the birth of a child, always connected to Mother Earth. I feel the pain that runs deep within. Why? Always connected to Mother Earth. Why do men fight wars of someone else's dream? Words to ponder, words to think about. The next one is called Mother Earth Speaks. Mother Earth speaks to her children in many ways, speaks joy in the sun, moon, and stars, even in lightning and thunder. Mother Earth feels our pain, our disappointments, disagreements, and more. When the rain clouds show up, suddenly pouring rain arrives. Volcanoes erupt when nations fight against each other. They turn to rockets and bombs that pounds the earth. Mother Earth is a feeling and a living being without borders the earth did not make, and still provides enough for everyone's needs, even the birds and the trees and the animals that roam the earth and in the sea. Mother Earth speaks all of our disappointments, expressed when earthquakes rip open the land, an open wound for all the world to see. Families displaced and even killed. Hurricanes strike, tornadoes spin when our life seems to be out of control. Giant tsunamis, waves cross the earth. Online arguments about who is the best and who is the worst got my head spinning. Mother Earth speaks our gratitude and thanks because after the storm, there's always a calm. To remind all of us we are connected by a common thread. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the heart that beats, the blood that flows, the eyes that see, the you and me, the namaste. Mother Earth speaks to us all. Are you listening? The final one is love the eyes of a child. I am your comforter. I move within. Suffer not the little ones who didn't ask to come, or did they? They look to us for love, guidance, protection, and self determination, liberation to bring a strong nation. Dare not give up your responsibility. You asked them to come. those little ones, break their hearts apart, and leave them for naught? The hearts of the little ones who never asked to come, or did they? Suffer not the little ones. I am your comforter. I move within the innocent ones. Promise love, promise joy. Can you really set them aside like a little toy? How cold, with no explanation to behold. Talk about love. Talk about ruling a nation. Suffer not the little ones who never asked to come. Why did they? I am a comforter. I move within. I am love. Suffer not the little ones who ask to come. I am your comforter. I move within. Love of the eyes of a child. Asheo.
Ashe, aho, Adona Da. Thank you so much, Kufunya.
Yes, yes, yes. I am a holistic health and wellness practitioner. I come from a medical background as a licensed respiratory therapist, but moved into the subtle energies of the crystals, the essential oils, the singing bowls, the sound frequencies, and also, that intuition, guidance, the alignment of the chakras, all of these multiple different chapters. And of course, being a closet, I'm out of the closet now with my poetry. And, I have to give thanks to each and every one here for being patient enough to listen to what I have to say. And I know that the divine feminine is Shakti energy is here. And Mama Earth or Daughter Earth is not taking anything any longer. It is over with. And we just have to shift that energy to know that we have the power within ourselves to transform anything that is happening out here, because thoughts create reality. Words sound power. What are we speaking into existence? We are human antennas. We are bio energy. So remember, thoughts create reality, and you have to weed out that garden from time to time. You have to weed it out, Rasta, because we are here. We bring forth life. And so that's what I would like to say. And, thank you so much. And I just one small plug. This coming Saturday, Unk Rising Sun, Lloyd Strayhorn, myself, and Baba Kaba, Professor Kaba, will be in Nicholas, Brooklyn this coming Saturday. And I would love to see each and every one of you there. It's going to be a dynamite situation. And just see.
You're perfect in disguise. I never seen another girl where they make me feel the way that you make me do. It be like say when I'm around you, girl, you just do me voodoo. You put me for that kind of cruise, another girl, nothing put me to.
Selfish plug, but not selfish, because I want to share the information that the youth do not get, and even some adults. And one more thing, that if you have children from the breast to 17, it is free for them to enter. Our gift to our youth. Asheo, thank you for having me. Unc and Miss Bliss and all the beautiful, and Diana, sorry I didn't see you. Oh my God, one love. I'm just like, so my cup is like filled with divine love for each and every one of the beautiful queens and empresses, and the mamas are here, and we got to step up. Time for us to put things into action.
110%. Self-love every time. One love.
Mm-hmm. Ashe, Aho, Adonada. So grateful, so grateful, so beautiful. All right, Adara, Moselle, my love, my love. Yes, if you can unmute your mic, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Peace and blessings to everybody. Peace and blessings to everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for having me on this wonderful, illustrious panel. You know, quite honored to be here. Quite honored to be here. I'll say thank you to all the elder women on the panel. I hope to one day be an elder. It's a blessing, and as I age, seeing all the different versions of womanhood and experiencing them, it's something that's kind of hard to put into words. You see what I'm saying? Just like becoming a mother, you would never understand until you were one. And the passion it made me have for my mother and everything else has just changed my life. And as I think it was Sister Keela was saying, nobody cares about me anymore. Just my kids. You know, I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. They just care about my kids, right? So for those who are not aware of me, my name is Adara Moselle. I am a tantric shaman. You know, I'm here on behalf of the Pleasure and Love Ambassadors. I work for love, I work for pleasure, I work for bliss, I work for feminine power and masculine power. I work for the indwelling intelligence, and the message I have tonight is from them. So I want people to understand that your pleasure is powerful. Like, people don't know that pleasure is a tool for ascension. Okay. And a lot of people only see pleasure as sexual gratification or indulging in foods or whatever else like that. But all pleasure really is a sense of happiness and satisfaction. And all the different traumas that we've been through in some sort of way has robbed us from some sort of pleasure, be it the pleasure of having a stable home life, the pleasure of having validation, the pleasure of healthy food. You see what I'm saying? The pleasure of your dollar going somewhere, just the pleasure of existing, right? As so many of the ladies have spoke about on this panel so far about the fear that we're indoctrinated in, the same goes in the pleasure realm, right? When they started separating women and men from their pleasure, they were really, really separating them from a open highway to their whole self, to the cosmos, to everything, to our manifestation abilities, to controlling the world around them to a degree. It left you possibly in a place of being a victim instead of an observer of life, and then a operator, a controller of your own life. Okay. So first I want to say that, like, your pleasure matters. It's one thing that's free. Everybody has an opportunity and a choice to grab on to pleasure. And I want to tell people that I believe that pleasure and bliss deserves a place in the Black mind. Grabbing onto your bliss is a sign of revolution. You see what I'm saying? The first thing they want to do is kill your mind and your heart, right? The first thing they want to do is dash your hopes and dreams, make you think things aren't possible, right? But when you tap into your pleasure, even if it's just a little bit, it's something that you can use to pull yourself up, to find hope out of any simple thing. You see what I'm saying? Out of any simple thing, even if your life is hard, the power in this thing is finding how to savor the little moments that we have. Savor the little moments that we have and following that road to your truth and to your bliss and to your joy. So I practice Tantra, right? I practice Tantra. And what I do is I help people tap into their sexual energy to better their life, right? And I don't believe it's a conversation that we have enough. I think that it's somewhat demonized as because people think that's a lack of discipline, right? Because pleasure is so powerful. It releases so many chemicals, so many endorphins and things in nature. It's hard to control yourself. But once you learn pleasure and wisdom together, the doors unlock for you, right? The doors unlock for you. So for people who might have heard of Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction and all this different stuff like that, they'll know that they say that you have to be in a positive feeling for multiples of 17 seconds to make your manifestations occur, right? Of course, you can do it in anger. You can manifest in anger, and that's a whole nother science. But we are able to put the feelings of things achieved, the satisfaction of already having, no longer wanting, into your manifestation. It brings things full circle. Okay, so with that being said, I want to kind of segue into the pleasure of your love yourself. Yeah. So I want to segue this into the actual powers that we have. the actual powers that we have. So people who are familiar with my work may know me for the art of no-touch orgasm, or projecting and making people shake and doing all this type of stuff and having all these extra experiences, right? But really all that is an application and an actual using of my Kundalini, right? So we can raise Kundalini, we can raise our power and stuff like that, but at a certain point, what are you going to do with it? You have these gifts, right? You have these gifts, you have these abilities, you have this knowing, but this self-doubt gets in the way of you manifesting yourself and being as big as you should be. All the trauma showed you how to be small. But when you tap into your presence, to your orgasm, to your bliss, you have no choice but to stand up straight. You have no choice but to stand up straight. So if you look at the patriarchy and all the movements, the first thing that happened was the sexual liberation, burning the bras, doing what I'm going to do here, here, here. Because when you let a woman have her own agency in these ways, she's more powerful. The women feel better. They're more powerful. They're able to think clearer. They're able to think clearer without all that worry and stress. Even for a moment, they're able to tap in and be present. And when we're present is when we have the opportunity to step into all of our power. So breathing, breathing, right? Breathing. You have channels like the lady spoke about. You have the nadis and the meridians. So I'm going to talk to you about the Ida and the Pingala, the sun and the moon channel, your masculine and your feminine, your active and your receptive, right? And all we're really trying to do is get these things to play nice with each other, harmonize with each other. The harmony is what creates beauty in life, beauty in taste, beauty in everything. People talk about Oshun and Heteru, Kemetic spirituality, so Heteru. And really what that is harmony, juxtaposition. Like beauty comes from the application of juxtaposition and harmony. You see what I'm saying? If you're able to harmonize that in yourself, you're able to harmonize that in the world around you. So you're no longer a victim of people hating on you. Or if kids are in your house acting wild, you can change your breathing, change how you affect the world, and calm your kids down. When your kids have anxiety, depression, you can be strong just in your breathing and change the dynamics of the world around you. You have active power that you don't have to use, that is free, that all you have to do is be conscious of and say, I now take responsibility and command of, and just start breathing and making yourself feel really, really good. So people know about Kundalini and it raises up the spine. It raises up the spine, but what this really is the desire of the universe and the Most High trying to come back to itself. Like people think sexual desire is you being horny. It's not you being horny. You being horny is just a human, tiny categorization or interpretation of this massive feeling that you feel. You can't put words into it. You just know you got to do something. Okay? That's really the desire of the Most High trying to find ways to manifest itself. Right? So we breathe in through these sun and the moon channels, and we let the snake raise up our back, up our front, up our sides. We feel it integrating into our chakras, and we let that purify. The energy is already intelligent. You don't gotta visualize nothing. You don't have to do a lot of stuff. The indwelling intelligence and intelligence of the cosmos is smart already. The wisdom is smart already. They just wait for you to get out of your way. Period. Get out of your way. Yes, it's hard. I get it. Yes, it's hard, but this is why we do shadow work, right? And this is also why the sexual work and the intimacy work is so misconstrued, because it's ultimate shadow work. Everybody's shadow lives in their sexuality. Every scandal you hear about is about what kind of sex they had and who they had it with and where they had it. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's about murder, but sometimes that murder is about sex, right? All the things that people are ashamed of, saying that they want, that they need, lives in their sexual house, in their root, in their sacral. You know what I mean? All the people that may not have been wanted in the womb. Do you know that that affects your root chakra and your sacral chakra and your security and your stability? But when you should empower that area with bliss, with joy, by your own personal intention, you take back that power. You can fix these pre-utero wounds, right? You can fix generational curses and stuff like that. You can heal your partner. You can do all of these different things. You can be your own savior. Like I was raised Christian, and Christ said, pick up your cross and walk with me. Do the same things I'm doing, right? Do the same things I'm doing. You don't have to take it from the Christian world or whatever else. The fact of the matter is, do something with this gift that you have. And the first way to find out what it is, honestly and simply, is through grabbing onto your bliss. So Tantra is a beautiful way of people tapping into that, being present. I know since I've started practicing Tantra, my whole life has changed. I'm more of a woman than I've ever been. I've been super shy most of my life. I was out of shape, all kinds of things, all kinds of health issues, menstrual issues, single for years, all kind of things, all of that stuff. I haven't worked a job in years. Well, I did not finish college twice. I made more money than I thought I ever would. I made a lane for myself that I thought would never exist, doing something people told me I should not do, that the society was shut upon, but it is my calling, and I found it through tapping into myself, tapping into my breath, tapping into my orgasm, and letting that be the guide to where I need to be. Because really, the shaking of the orgasm is what's called spanda, which is the original vibration of the universe. So I just want to ask people, just take a little bit more time and just a little consideration into this thing that we call sex, this thing that we call subtle energy, this thing that we call pleasure. And you might find there's a lot of jewels there that could help your life and people around you. So that's my sharing. And
I share. Oh, thank you for the pleasurable sexual and bliss education. Use a little bit of bliss here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can find me on Instagram, Adara Moselle, on Instagram, daramoselle.com. If you're interested in learning tantric body work, I have classes that are going on right now. So feel free to tap in. All right.
Ashe, Aho, Adon, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. Grateful. Yes. And Tameeka, Nicole, my love, would you like to unmute your mic? Yeah. Welcome,
Greetings,
Tameeka.
greetings, greetings. Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to be here. And a lot of the mothers on the line are mothers that I've studied with and who has helped me to come upon my ascension work and my journey work of healing. But before I share my message for today, I just want to invite you to take 3 cleansing breaths with me. There's been so much going on, so much energy that doesn't belong to us. And so if we could just pause for a second, and as I guide you to these 3 cleansing breaths, very simple, make yourself comfortable, bring your body, let that grace cord pull you up to the clouds, and just breathe in through your nose and breathe out with a big sigh. Just let it go. Releasing the shoulders, the face, the neck, the chest. Let's try that again. Breathing in through the nose, allowing the belly to soften and expand. And when you're ready, just let it go with a big sigh. No one can hear you. Your mic is off. And one more time, breathing in through the nose. And take a really big sigh and just let it go. Let the shoulders drop. Let the jaw release. Let the eyes soften. And just hold on to this moment for a second. And just feel the sensations in your body, letting your breath flow gently and smoothly. And with each breath out, allow the body to become more and more at ease. Notice all the sensations in the body. Notice a place where you can just let go. Just no effort needed. Just one place in the body that you can soften and relax. And just be in this moment. Just be here now. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and you can smile to the space and all that love energy that we've been talking about all night. And I just come to remind you, I work with a lot of elders. I run a wellness business called Emerge Soul. It is based in Bedford-Stuyvesant in the Brownstone, but we're doing a lot of things virtual now due to the population that I work with is extremely vulnerable. And so in working with them, I always tell them that I'm their little fairy of wellness, and I'm just here to give them a little nudge. And my nudge for you tonight is to just remember your true natural state. And your true natural state is of harmony and peace and balance. So I want you to be reminded that you are harmony, you are peace. And if you need to say to yourself 37 times a day, I am peace, I am harmony, I am balance, I encourage you to do that. And I want to encourage you to really take some time after tonight and think about the conditions that you are creating so that you could live in your harmony, in your peace, your true essence. Your true essence is divine wealth, divine health, divine love, and true expression of yourself. So, what is your true expression? Harmony, balance, love, and everything other than that, that's not you, right? So, when there is aggression happen and you're like, I'm just speaking my truth, that's who I am. That's not who you are. Your true essence is love, harmony, and balance, right? And we can get to that by breathing, by changing how we breathe. The breath is bi-dimensional, bi-directional, right? The breath could take us up and get us excited, but the breath can also bring us down and help to relax us. And when that breath is up, sometimes it's not in the right direction and our nervous system is overactive. Some of our nervous systems are on hijacked. Our nervous systems are being hijacked by chronic stress, chronic illness, chronic despair. And so the nervous system is designed and built to protect us and to keep us from all of those things, but not every day, not every moment of the day. So just by taking those 3 cleansing breaths, we can help to reset our nervous system. And when we reset our nervous system, we bring ourselves back to our natural state, which is what? Harmony, peace, balance. And so the conditions are what we're talking about. What conditions? What are your days like when you wake up in the morning? What's the first thing you put your eyes on? What's the first thing that you hear? What's the first thing that you speak or take in to your mouth? These gateways, you need to protect them. And how do you protect them? Only you know that. You have to create the condition. So whatever's on your TV, whatever's on your wall, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is the thing that's going to be imprinted on your heart, on your mind, on your soul, and your spirit. So you want to be mindful of those conditions. What's happening in your kitchen, what's happening in your bedroom, what's happening in your car, what's happening in your workspace. What conditions are you making for healing your soul, for lighting your soul on fire? You hold the key to that. And some of us, we are imprisoning ourselves. But the great thing about that is we have the key to set ourselves free. And only you know that. And so I want to encourage you to start by focusing on your breath and taking those deep breaths in the morning, taking that deep breath before you get ready to pop off on somebody, because you know there's a lot of reason to pop off on people, right? Right? But it doesn't affect them, it affects us because the nervous system is going to ramp up and then it's like protect, protect, protect. And then everything else begins to shut down. And that's not what we want. We want to be in our purest, our truest essence to get all that pleasure that we just learned about, right?
Yes.
So the breath is your friend, the healing power of the breath. Don't take it for granted. Take those deep breaths every day. And sometimes it may be a little challenging to take the deep breath, but that's just resistance. That's just the stress, the tension that is held up in your body. Just be easy with yourself. And if you do nothing else, just have grace for yourself, just a little bit of grace. And it's okay to forgive yourself and to forgive all of those who have ever harmed you, hurt you in this lifetime or any other lifetime. That is going to be the step to get into your freedom if you are seeking freedom. So use that breath to help set you free. And remember, you hold the key. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tameeka. Thank you for that lovely breathing exercise. I have to say that I really needed it, and I'm extremely grateful and appreciative. How can people reach you if they wanted to reach out?
They can just go to emergesoul.com.
Okay. Ashe. I hope. And Rihanna, are you available? Welcome, my dear. Would you like to speak? Welcome, Anna. Your mic is muted. There you go.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I was invited here tonight by Brother Alk, and I wanted to come on just to say a prayer for the mother and children. This is my first time, so I'm kind of nervous. And I wrote this today. I am a child. I am a mother. I am a divine from the one, the other, the unknown, the source we call Mother Nature. I call on you as a child and a mother, and I ask that you please guide us back to where we belong. I pray that you protect us from those that do not belong, and understand you allowed the ones that were chosen to board your ride. This journey of acceptance into the cycles of your protection will be high, vibrational, loving, sweet, and just for me. And I am here, and I accept, and I am ready. Lastly, so I wanted to share those positive words and vibrations.
Thank you,
And
Rihanna.
Thank you, Rihanna.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. She's very poetic. She was a little shy, but she's a beautiful mother I've known for a long time. And she just did the ghost. She just took off. Pew! And I want to thank you, my sister Tameeka, for your words, your inspiration. I want to, at this time, before we bring you on, Mama Kareemah, I want to bring on Mama Queen Yana. Mama Queen Yana, thank you for joining the Big Momma Medicine Circle. Talk to us from Alabama. Hold on, you got to unmute. You got to unmute. You got to unmute. Push the unmute button because your mic is turned off.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, good evening. Hank, you called me this morning. Anyway, it's so good to just be on this platform with all of you wonderful, wise sisters. It indeed is a pleasure. Everyone is bringing so much wisdom to this platform. I've known Hank for many years when I lived in New York. Well, I guess we met in the late '80s or back in the early '90s, but it's been quite a while, and we've had a journey through all the meditations and all of his. I always call him the mad scientist. He's always creating and always doing things. Well, a little bit about me. I am a proprietor. I have Yana's Flowers and Gifts in New York. It was Queen Yana's Flowers and Gifts, and I've been in business for 45 years. Started with my mother. And I do flowers and gifts, herbs and vitamins, and that is my life. And so many of you sisters say so many wonderful things, but we're on this journey, and I learned early to believe in myself. I think that it helped me do this, helped me to survive. As I was outside today, I began to think about all the things that is growing around us. So I began to right now, as we know, goldenrod is growing everywhere. I found that no matter where I was in the world, whether I was in Africa, even in Cambodia, China, this time of the year, the goldenrod is growing. So I decided to cut some in. It's right here. If you guys get the yellow flowers, you know this. Well, I do flowers, so I do everything to stick it in an arrangement, pretty much. But I take this and I make tea with it, and I have spoke to so many people for so many reasons. Are you drinking goldenrod? It's right here for us to see, and the benefit is really wonderful. Besides the goldenrod, I'm not going to take up too much time, but there's the pine needles, and right here I decided that I'll go out and put me some pine needles, the red pine. And I also have some juniper berries. So juniper berries, I'm always looking for things that are around us, that is growing near us, and it's saying, take me, take me, take me. I have something good for you, and this is what do. Um, Children, grandchildren, all of it is wonderful. I've had I think, a pretty well journey through life, learning the various breathing techniques and uh, metaphysical, the spiritual journey, the travels. I just feel honored to be a part of everyone that's here. And I just thank you for having me. Thank you, Hank, for asking me. I really appreciate it. And I'm honored.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Thank,
you, Ayana.
thank you.
Thank you,
Ayana.
Queen Yana. And I want to thank all the big mamas who was here that decided to go off, take care of the cheering, wherever they may be now. And I like for our big mama medicine woman, Kareemah. Come on, girl. Talk to us.
Greetings, everyone. And
Greetings.
thank you for inviting me to be among this circle of women, this circle of mothers. I am so happy to be here. And in the spirit of motherhood, I would like to share a medicine song that I have sung in many of our ceremonies. And first, let me introduce myself. My name is Kareemah. My friends call me Rain. My spiritual name is East Papalotes, which means obsidian butterfly. Um, I have been initiated into a circle of women in Mexico, the Mexica culture, and I was introduced not so long ago as the obsidian butterfly. This is the energy and the spirit that I walk with. And East Papalotes, it's an energy of, it's a feminine energy. Um, it's um, it's it rules over women in childbirth as well as children who pass during childbirth. And East Papalotes devour their souls, and so that they can be rebirthed back into become new humans, new beings. And this is the role that she plays in that spiritual pantheon. Now, the name of the song that I'm gonna sing is called "The Grandmother Song," and um, I'm not a singer, but I'm gonna try to do very well to get this song across. This is my medicine drum, and it's a wachuma drum. It was given to me by a abuela in Mexico, and she told me to use it to heal as well as open up my throat chakra. Okay, so this is the name of the song. It's called the Grandmother Song. All right. Now the drum, it is the heartbeat of the planet, and this is the first sound that most babies hear while they're in the womb, and it's a connection, to Mother Earth as well as the mother. And this is the song. Okay. I hear the voices of my grandmother's calling, yes, I hear the voices of my grandmother's calling. She says, wake up, children, wake up, listen, 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 listen. I hear the voices of my grandmother's calling, yes, I hear the voices of my big mama calling. She says, stand in your power, child, stand in your power, listen, listen. You better listen, listen. I hear the voices of my big mama's calling. Yes, I hear the voices of my big mama's calling. She says, teach and give life, child. Teach and give life. Listen, listen. Listen, listen. I hear the voices of my grandmother's calling. Yes, I hear the voices of my grandmother's calling. She says, stand in your power, child. Stand in your power. Listen, listen. Listen, listen. Oh, Mateo.
Oh, Mateo. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. With that Wachuma drum, you know you gotta come get some Wachuma medicine. You can't.
Yes, I do. I actually sat with that medicine a while ago while I was in Mexico, and I was given the name Satuama, which means irresistible one.
Satuama.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to take it here with us too, with me and Rising Sun and Joanna.
I know. You know,
Yeah, you got to go up to Wachuma Mountain with us and meet up with Momma Joanna and Taita Oswald
yeah.
Yes, thank you. Beautiful.
all night long on Wachuma Mountain.
Yeah.
And I want to learn that song. I like it. I really do.
Yes,
Thank you.
I would love to share it with you again. And again, I'm very blessed and nervous.
The little kid in me say, play that again.
You're at home amongst all the feminine energies and rising sun, so you're perfectly fine. You're safe. You're safe.
Yes, I am. Okay.
Oh, how can they follow you, Vivi? You on Instagram or?
My Instagram is Kareem Drops. That's KARAIN DROPS. Stop Raindrops. Or you can follow me here on YouTube. My angle is Obsidian B Fly Healer. That's Obsidian, the letter B, Fly Healer. Yes.
Thank you, Rain. Thank you. So grateful.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, Hank, for inviting me. And thank you to all the women that came before me. You know, I've been listening from the beginning. And thank you for the wisdom.
Thank you for your words, your song. I want to thank everyone who's partaked tonight. Those who are left, I want you to share. Queen Yana, really glad you came through. We also had invited Little Flower. That's one of my big sisters. Little Flower, she's an indigenous activist, but now she's in, I think she's living in Virginia. Isn't that right?
He's been a while. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's good that we having this time. Momma Ayana and Momma Bliss and Momma Clark and Momma Tameeka and Momma Kareemah and Momma Joanna and Momma Akila and Momma Diana Pharr and Momma Queen Phor. And it was a magical night. And we're about ready to bring it to a close. But before we do, could everyone share their contact information? Momma Ayana, could you share how the audience can reach you, please?
Yes, I am on Facebook as Ayana Ife Iyi. That's Ayana Ayana Ife Ifeeiyi. And I'm gonna just make a little silly joke here. I'm a OG, so I don't have IG. Okay, y'all don't have to laugh at that. But
I like that. I like that.
but it's just too much for me out there with all of the ways, you can holler at me that way. But if you hit me up on Facebook and, direct message me, then I will give you my phone number and we can chat from there. And just to end it for myself, I just want to say everyone has the magic inside of them. Please embrace it. And that please know that self-care is not selfish. Take care of yourself. I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashe. Thank you. Rising Sun, what you doing?
I want to give a special acknowledgement to my Angela Sag sister who has Nat Turner land in Virginia, my distant cousin, Nat Turner. And she was saying, hold on, let me see if I can get her on the line at least, because I was waiting for her to come on, but let me see, maybe I can get her so she could share a few words. Hold on. And I want to thank all of you for being patient, because we kind of like was winging this. And the interesting thing was, uh, the video covered those who showed up, and most of the people from the video that we wanted to upload, Miss Blinn,
Oh wow, that's so funny! What a
didn't
coincidence!
show up. I'm like, whoa!
We have one more
With the
announcement.
exception.
One more announcement. There's a psychedelic conference. Mama, Madam Clark, do you want to announce what you got going on while you're on here?
Certainly. You can follow me two ways at Nighthawk Therapy, and there is a link in the bio. Speaking of the Psychedelic and Culture Conference coming up this weekend in Atlanta, Georgia. In the bio, you can find the tickets to purchase tickets, or you can also pay at the door. It's going to be really great. We will be also honoring the late great Chief Nighthawk. So yeah, check that out. If you're interested in sponsorship or being a vendor at the event, you can hit me up at Nighthawk Therapy or at Yoni_Puja Atlanta. That's YONI_PUJA Atlanta. And you can DM me if you have any questions about the conference, or if you want to play a role in the conference. You can also contact me there, and all the information for the conference is at Nighthawk Therapy.
Wait a minute, Mama, Madam Clark. You said a powerful word, Yoni Puja. Now, before we move on, hold on a second. You need to tell the children what Yoni Puja is, please. Because I'm going to fall back and listen to this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hold on. Let me bring you front and center. Hold on now.
Well, I mean, Yoni is another word for pussy or vagina. Puja is worshiping that. And so what I do with women is I do pussy portal ceremonies or activations with women. Basically, it's something that I learned through the mushrooms many, many years ago. And
wow.
I was doing it inside of ceremonies, but I'm also doing it outside of ceremonies. So you can either have a private session, or I do it at retreats with groups of women. So that's where the Yoni Puja, handle comes from. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be aware of that, because we need to have a show with the same women on this panel about Yoni Puja, because in the community, some women don't even know, and when they experience bliss, they lose their minds.
Yeah.
This is, we're gonna have to do a part 2, Momma Ayana, Mama Madam Clark, Miss Bliss, Queen Yana. Before you go anywhere, please, I'm thinking of Ron, and speaking of breath, can you share any wisdom about the importance of breath work?
You just had a beautiful sister to take us through the breathing and talk about breath. Now you want me to speak on breath?
Just a little bit. Your angle, your voice, your song about breath, even if it is a song or a poem.
Oh, anyway, about the breath. With my ex, he was always taking us through breathing techniques and Kundalini breathing and all the rest. So it's like I came through years of him standing there going through the Tai and going through the breathing and taking me through the breathing. And indeed, it is very important. Different will take you many places within your mind and your heart, relaxing, calming your nerves, lowering your blood pressure. Breathing can do so many things, but I don't feel that I'm the specialist in terms of breathing. Now, you ask me about flowers, or you ask me about plants. It's
That's beautifully that you connected the both of them together. So thank you, Queen Yana, Mama Queen Yana. Um, Mama Joanna, could you share with us how to get in touch with you for your important service you provide on Wachuma Mountain, healing hearts 7 generations back in the past and
Sure.
7 generations in the future?
Thank you, Brother Hank. I actually put here the Instagram name, Wachuma underscore San Pedro, San, and then underscore Pedro. And you'll be able to find Oswald there. And you can send him a message, and then we could do a Zoom, talk about Wachuma, how we do Wachuma. Oswald's from Ecuador, from where the San Pedro's grow in plenitude in the mountains, in the highest parts of the Andes. And the lineage comes from his ancestors. We bring the altars and the prayers from ancient wisdom dating who knows how many thousands of years. And we so humbly take you on a journey to meet Grandfather Fire, Grandmother Water, Grandfather Air, and Mother Earth. All the prayers go to them, and they come live in the ceremony. There are the true teachers. They are the true shamans. The instruments that we play in the ceremony, the drum, the harmonica, the flute, all those things come into play, and they're the true healers that offer our love and heal us from within. So I invite you to we could speak on a Zoom, and then we could go from there. We serve them. Thank you. We serve the medicine in New Jersey, upstate New York, Maryland, Milford. We do ceremonies every 2 weeks, so we're very grateful to bring this medicine from the south all the way here to Grandfather Wachuma to the north to unite the north and the south together. Thank you.
Yes, Eagle and the Condor.
Yes, all
Yeah.
our ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Queen Yana, if people want flowers, exotic plants that may not be here or elsewhere, how can people reach you?
oh, really, um, really give my number out number 8300 and our will return. I live here in Alabama. Much a piece.
Wow. I couldn't hear. Could y'all hear her?
No,
It was breaking up.
Yeah. Could you say that again? Because it just went.
Okay, I gave my number. My number is 334-683-8300. That's the number to Giannis Flowers and Gifts, Herbs and Vitamins. That's 334-683-8300. And if you on the text, it's 334-207-0824. That's 334-207-0824. You email me at Giannis Flowers and Gifts at gmail.com, and that's spelled Giannis is with an S, flowers with an S, and AND, gifts, GIFTS, at gmail.com. So there's many things that I'm doing here and working with many different groups. And the community has been an asset to me, and I've been a big asset to the community. And I bring that.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
you know what we'll try to do is get everyone who participate, all the mamas, contact information. I want to thank a special thank you to Mama Santewa, if she's still listening. Thank you so much. Special thanks to, again, Momma Ayana and Momma Clark, because along with you, Miss Bliss, Mama Bliss, you helped put this whole thing together, and all the participants. Momma RAIN, how can folks reach you, Momma RAIN?
Okay, I'm very active on Instagram, but I also have a website, online shop where I sell my medicines and make intentional crystal gemstone adornments, and I also I have a portal in WhatsApp. It's called Lunar Sorceress Sorority, and we meet there like twice a month, during the moon phase, to just like honor and do some moon magic. And there's meditations, and there's mantras, and there's full spiritual baths. We discuss everything that's magical and associated with the moon. And also my website is www.shopkareendrops.com. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Momma Tameeka, talk to us. How can people reach you?
You can reach me at emergesoul.com, and I offer community relaxation classes. So when you go online to the website, you can just sign up for a class, and those classes are free or donation based. I do one Thursday night at 8 p.m., and it's to bring the body into deep relaxation and give that nervous system a little break.
Thank you. Thank you. And for those of you who would like to have more conversations about indigenous medicine and Tantra, you're welcome to join this WhatsApp group. It's a huge audience of over 800 participants globally. So if you have limited memory on your phone, you may have to jump in and jump out, jump in and jump out. But this is the QR code. And for those of you who want to stick to the spiritual part, we have an I Am Magic Presence WhatsApp group that focuses more on the yoga and the health, all of it's pertaining to health. But the WhatsApp group, Magnus Crystals Pyramids, is inclusive of Tantra, health, networking your business services, your products, and things of sort. Uh, in closing and bringing close to tonight, I'm going to ask Momma Joanna, could you give us a prayer song, maybe a song for Mother Earth's healing in this uh, critical time that we're living in? And can we all imagine that we're holding Mother Earth between our palms? Because Momma Joanna has some beautiful songs she can share. Please. Oh, you got to unmute. Oh.
The universe is singing along. The universe is singing a song. The universe is dancing along. The universe is singing on a day like this. The universe is singing a song. The universe is dancing along. The universe is dancing on a night like this. So get up and dance. So get up and dance. So get up and dance. The universe is singing a song. The universe is dancing along. The universe is singing on a night like this.
Ashe Aho.
Adonada.
Thank you.
Yatehe.
Thank you, Brother Hank.
Thank you. And
Bliss,
hug to
everybody.
everybody. May you stay in joy and bliss. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the big mamas who were on the panel earlier, the ones now. You will make the difference in the world. Night, night.
Night.
Say often, yes, I am. Supreme shield of protection surrounding me. Yes, I am. Yes, I am remembering all I was born to do. Yes, I am. Take hold of your crystal, which will magnify your I am.